last time Great Britain defeated Australia in Australia, Greg Inglis was 5 years old.
Inglis, the freak! Kearney is chasing! Inglis will get there!
Now the Kangaroos must hit back.
Never like losing, whether it be for your club, for your state, or for your country. So pride was dented last game, and we want to get it back.
Walking off the Sydney Football Stadium certainly did hurt. So I know that's something that's driving us tonight.
There's no complacency. I think we can get the Poms and get them well, but we have to play to our fullest potential.
And Sean Long, the number 7, he dots the I's, he crosses the T's.
For Great Britain, it's so long Sean, their man of the match halfback. Now the Lions must win or follow him home.
Well, Sean Long's gone. I'm a big believer in the king is dead, long live the king. He's not great, but you lose a quality player, but we've got plenty in this team that are quality, and they're keen to show that.
As a leader, you've got to set an example and say to people, look, this is it. There's no second chances. I don't want to go home.
Yeah, it is do or die, but our destiny's in our own hands. If we win, we stay in the comp. If we fail, we're out. It's as simple as that.
A classic encounter. 2 enemies after the 1 result. This is the 2006 Gillette Tri-Nation Series. Australia versus Great Britain. Live and exclusive on the home of the Ashes. Channel 9.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to Game 6 of the Gillette Tri-Nations. We're at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane tonight, and it could be a record-breaking night. Boy, are we looking forward to bringing you this match. Even though Australia already qualified for the final, the fans have flocked to the ground, and so have the British supporters as well. We've got the Ashes test starting in Brisbane that you'll see live on the Wide World of Sports on Thursday, so lots of English supporters in Brisbane, and it really is a sensational night. The highest ever test crowd in Brisbane was way back in 1954, where they had 46,500. That may be broken tonight. That is sensational. Halfway through November, and we're talking about crowds of that type. What about it? Peter Sterling, Matthew Johns tonight. We're all excited about bringing the match, but from a Great Britain perspective, the first time they've had the chance to win back-to-back matches in Australia against the Kangaroos since almost when the Beatles were big. Back in 1970 was the last time they won back-to-back matches.
Well, the Beatles, they could play a little. Actually, 1970, I think Cliff Richard might have toured that year as well, so they had a lot of inspiration to draw on. But look, they were great 2 weeks ago, Great Britain. They just hung in there, and they got their reward. They got the result. They played quite conservative. They expended a lot of energy in defence. They've got to do that tonight. The big thing tonight, boys, no Long, Horn, and also Danny Maguire. Now, they're the future of rugby league in Great Britain. Fantastic young talents. It's whether the future can get Great Britain home tonight, I'm not sure.
Yeah, you mentioned Sean Long, his departure, Peter. It's been a bit like a soap opera off the field with this Tri-Nation series. Every week a story from the fallout from the Harker in Game 1. We've had some punch-ups. We've had the Berrigan wedding, Granny Gate. What about the impact of Sean Long gone?
Oh, it's huge. It's a big obstacle that the English wouldn't have expected and definitely don't need. He's an influential player. 2 weeks ago, he was the man of the match. When you are the number 7 of a touring party, you carry a lot of responsibility. That has now been passed on, as Matthew points out, to especially Richard Horn, but to the rest of the touring party. I find it remarkable that a player would leave going into a make-or-break game at this stage of a tour for his country.
Well, this is the deal. We are live on Channel 9 tonight. This is the only place where you'll see tonight's match and indeed the final next week live. And you know the equation. If Great Britain win tonight, it will be the Lions against the Kangaroos next Saturday night in Sydney. Should the Kangaroos win tonight, it is Australia versus New Zealand in the final. Either way, it's going to be a terrific decider. Let's go down to the ground for the first time tonight with a very special guest. Here's Phil Gould.
Thank you, Andrew. I'm down here with International and Bulldogs forward Willie Mason, who I imagine is very disappointed not to be playing in this test match tonight.
Yeah, I am disappointed, especially missing a test match like this. But having the luxury of being in the final next week, it doesn't really make me feel that bad because I know I've got one more game to go in the season, so I don't feel I've let the boys down that bad.
Well, Willie, I know you didn't plan it this way, but it seems you have been the face of the Tri-Nations tournament so far. All the controversy is centred around you. A lot of it over the top, don't you think? Has it been distracting to you?
It hasn't really. I know I suppose, my head's been everywhere, getting hit by Kidwell, getting a fight last week, but I'm pretty sure it's been, great for the game. I think, as long as you have a look at the crowd here, there's going to be 50 plus here, hopefully, and next week sell out in Sydney, so.
All right, this is the incident that led to your suspension. Were you disappointed in being suspended? Like, to me, I've seen a lot of that in the NRL that's gone unpunished, but for a test match, seems like a very hefty penalty to me.
Yeah, it did, mate. I was disappointed because, as you said, there's been a lot of, a few fights here and there that have been let go, but last week I went in there. I thought I was going to get off with it because it was just a one-on-one fight. But the judiciary didn't see it like that.
All right, we're on your side, Willie. Now, this Australian team, to me, they haven't clicked into gear so far this series. Not too bad in game one, disappointing since then. Why will it be different tonight?
Well, I just think the intensity has risen. Ricky Stewart's really got us fired up tonight, and it's been the best preparation that we've had for a test. And you can say all the words you want, but we just got to get out here tonight and just really put in a solid 80 minutes.
I thought the Kiwis tore Great Britain apart last week with the forward pack. I mean, our forwards pumped up tonight. They just couldn't handle those big Kiwis last week. I think if we run straight and hard, we can run roughshod over this side.
That's the plan, Brent Kite's really got to step up. Petro's, he always steps up. Andrew Ryan, Luke O'Donnell, all these guys, Marco Milley, they're primed for a big game. Siggy's been in all more week. And you know how to get forwards going, mate. Just give me a little bit of a tickle, mate, and they'll get going.
All right, mate. We'll give them a tickle next week for the final two, and you'll be there. Back up to you, Andrew. Thank you.
Yeah, that's all it is, a tickle. That's all it is.
Now, I think it was a tickle he gave Fielden last week. You don't want to tickle off Willie Mason.
Well, the boos you heard, now that was a little deceptive. If we started that interview with Willie, the Great Britain side came out for their warm-up. They weren't booing Willie Mason. They would have been cheering him tonight in a green and gold jumper. What about it, Peter? The Lions line up full tonight.
Well, I think if you asked them before this tournament started, if going to the last game of the round robin, if their fate was in their own hands and they had to win their last game, would they be satisfied? They'd have said yes. This is their lineup. 3 changes to the side, well beaten by the Kiwis last week. At fullback, Paul Wellens again looks safe and assured at the fullback position. On the wings, Leon Price will have a roving commission again tonight. On the other flank, Gareth Raynor. The coach has gone for experience by reuniting Martin Gleeson and Keith Senior in the centres. Senior was superb 2 weeks ago against the Australians. It's a new look halves pairing, Danny Maguire again at 5'8". Richard Horn comes in with the departure of Sean Long, a lot of pressure on his young shoulders. Now the forward pack, the same one that took on the Australians 2 weeks ago. The Lions will welcome back the work rate of Sean O'Loughlin at lock. The second rows have been tremendous. Gareth Hock and Gareth Ellis. And the front row tonight, Stuart Fielden, Terry Newton, and again the skipper, Jamie Peacock, is pushed up into the prop forward position. He was inspirational last week against the Kiwis in a badly beaten side. Their bench tonight, James Raby, very good in the hooker rotation, Adrian Morley, Lee Gilmore and John Wilkin, and they are coached by Brian Noble.
Yeah, you mentioned Jamie Peacock, inspirational last week, a danger man tonight in the Great Britain squad.
Well, if you're talking about a player leading by example, we saw that from the big number 10 last week. The side was beaten by 30, but he strove for every metre possible. He lacked a lot of support, and that's an area that the Lions need to address tonight. He's played 22 test matches, 7 of those as the skipper. He really was very good against the New Zealand side last week. And if they are going to be successful tonight, I think that they have to play Australia going forward, not sideways. That was an important try against the Kangaroos a fortnight ago. Early in the second half, it set the springboard for success. And Peacock is in very, very good form at this stage of his career.
The guy I've picked, but the guy I've got my fingers crossed for is young Danny Maguire. I really like him in his play. He's a fine young player, a young star in England. Tonight's the opportunity for Danny Maguire to establish himself at the next level, an international star. He reminds me a little bit of Gary Schofield, a very good ball runner. He's just got that little bit of something special about him. Tonight could be his night. I really hope it is.
Certainly will be exciting if he can light up at Test level the way he does at Super League level in England. This is Test Match Rugby League live on Channel 9 tonight, Saturday night footy. How good is it in November? The Australians warming up, kick-off not far away. And after the break, we'll focus on the Kangaroos lineup, including a feature on the eldest member of the Australian side, that is front rower Petro Civoniceva.
Look, he's one of those guys in life I just hate to see someone upset him. I think he could honestly kill you.
Great tackle by the big fella.
Delicious food. Information about us.
In a perfect world, the day would be beautiful. The road would be endless. And performance and handling would also come with great economy. Now, Mazda 6 gives you the choice of a sporty 4-cylinder petrol engine, or coming soon, the new turbocharged Mazda 6 diesel in hatch or wagon that uses just 5.9 litres per 100 kilometres. Mazda 6, petrol or diesel, taking exhilaration.
And here comes the Australian team for this extremely vital test match.
I remember in the second test at Old Trafford in 1990 that I was running down the right-hand side of the field and threw a long ball looking for Mal Meninga, and it was intercepted by Lachlan, who raced to our left-hand corner and scored a try.
Oh, Lachlan, the intercept!
probably one of the lowest feelings I've had in the game, giving them the opportunity from an intercept pass.
There's plenty of time still left for Australia, but Mal Meninga laying down the law.
Fortunately, then I had the chance to redeem myself. I remember the ball going to the left-hand side of the field, and then Cliffy Lyons bringing it back to the right and giving me a pass. And on my reception, I threw a dummy, and I ended up having a bit of open space in front of me.
Stewart throws the dummy. Now Ricky Stewart's on his own. He's up to the halfway. He's waiting for Eddie Housen. He's got support. Eddie Housen with him. Back it goes to Meninga. And Meninga tries. He gets goals. Oh, what a try. What a try. What a run from Stewart. And what a try.
I've never been so satisfied in all my life when I could actually unload the ball and then basically know that we were home.
Ricky Stewart, only about 5 minutes ago, David, was feeling like the worst man in the world. He's sitting on top of the world now.
One of the most sensational moments in the history of Test Rugby League. Ricky Stewart played 9 tests as a player for Australia, now on his 5th test as coach. We go back to 1990 for that one. We were talking about the Beatles. Way back to 1970. What was 1990? Bronski beat?
Listen to us. Glenn Baker, Molly Meldrum and Donny Sutherland here. But look, there they are. Look, they've had a 2-week break, Australia. I expect a big improvement. That's the live shot, of course, with his assistant Craig Bellamy. One of the important things for Australia, they're gone with combination tonight. Thurston back in the side alongside Darren Lockyer and, of course, the dummy half Cameron Smith. That's the combination that won the series for Queensland. That'll help us tonight.
It's a squad dominated by Queenslanders. In fact, Antonio Kaufusi is a Queenslander but hasn't played Origin, but all the rest are Origin players. Jonathan Thurston's returned, though, Peter. What does he bring to the team?
Oh, he brings the specialist halfback, and it's no surprise that Ricky Stewart has opted to go that way. This game is all about preparation. He brought the team back into camp early. No compassionate leave for Sean Berrigan this weekend to attend his brother's wedding. And, of course, the players are very mindful of the fact that they can wrap up a spot in the 17th for next week's final with a good showing tonight. So I think we'll see back to the basics. High completions, effective defence, few mistakes.
OK, Matty, run us through the lineup for tonight for the Kangaroos.
Let's have a look at fullback. A big night for Carmichael Hunt in front of his home crowd. On the wings, another local boy in Brent Tate with Greg Inglis, who needs to get in field and get as much ball as possible. In the centres tonight, Mark Gasnier comes into the side, although they say he's still hampered a little bit by a hip injury, and his centre partner Justin Hodges, I think, will play a little bit of right side tonight. Watch for that. In the halves, we've got the Queensland pairing, as I said before, the brilliant skipper Darren Lockyer and Jonathan Thurston, who reclaims his 7 jersey. The back row, well, they'll just work till the cows come home. A lot of strength in Luke O'Donnell. Nathan Highmarsh, he'll cover more Ks than Burke and Wills. Hey, I'm serious. Andrew Ryan, he'll bring a little bit of skill to the pack with the Bobcat. Up front, Brent Kite gets his chance tonight. His footwork will worry the English. Big Petro Sivanasiva's just never played better. And Cameron Smith, as I said before for mine, with Lockyer and Thurston, is the key to victory. The bench, O'Mealy, Sean Berrigan, Anthony Tupou, Antonio Kaufusi, the coach Ricky Stewart.
Well, danger players, you've gone for the captain, Sturlo, Darren Lockyer.
I've gone for the obvious. At 29 years of age, I think Darren Lockyer is at the prime of his powers. In fact, tonight he plays his 34th test, and that puts him in illustrious company. Graham Langlands, Clive Churchill and Brad Fittler also on that number. I think what has been very evident throughout this campaign has been when the Australians have been in trouble, and they have been on a number of occasions, it's been to the captain and the number 6 who they have turned to. He's been outstanding in every facet of the game. His running of the football has been tremendous, but his leadership has been wonderful. He too leads by example.
Look, I think for Australia to fire tonight, Cameron Smith needs to come into the game as one of the pivotal parts of the Australian attack. I think Australia have been too conservative around the rucks. He can be very constructive when he's at Melbourne. He needs to do that for Australia. Just getting out just like that. Guys like Cameron Smith, Thurston, Darren Lockyer going out the big English forwards, I don't think they'll combat it. That's how we have to play.
And he also brings a kicking game option, of course, out of dummy half. He's so effective in that area. Great Britain will need to look out for that. Another one of the danger men in the Australian side has to be up front, Petro Sivanasiva, local favourite here in Brisbane. In fact, tonight he plays his 34th game for the year. 26 games for the Broncos. He's played 4 test matches already this season, 3 Origin matches for Queensland. So he's had a terrific season. And yet 12 months ago, many of us were saying that Petro Sivanasiva wasn't up to it at this level anymore. During the week, our reporter Tim Gilbert spent some time with a number of rugby league identities waxing lyrical about the oldest member of the Australian side, Petro Sivanasiva.
He's one of those guys in life I just hate to see someone upset him. I think he could honestly kill him.
Great tackle by the big fella.
He's not out there. He's a silent assassin type. But he does his things under the radar there, which is the way Petro likes it.
Petro Civoniceva is no grandstander. He doesn't talk trash and he doesn't set out to be a bully.
He's a quality individual. You don't have to be a madman to be a bad man.
Oh, Clinton lost it.
I learned that pretty early from my old man. He was a big burly sort of bloke and he knew how to handle himself, but he was always pretty quiet, and I think the case with him was if he was pushed, he certainly knew how to handle himself, and I just apply that to my football.
Praise is not something Petro covets. But a year ago, when critics said he was too old, too big, too slow, the quiet man was listening.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely eats at you. I know that the pre-season was probably the longest one I've ever had in terms of just knowing what was being said.
Suggested he wouldn't play for Australia and certainly not for Queensland, and in the end he won the Paul Morgan medal here, which was their best player, and he's done that for the second time in his career, which is really hard to do. And hasn't missed a test match, didn't miss an Origin game, and I don't think he missed any games for the Broncos. So not bad for a guy that was too old and too slow. When the season got down to the back end of it and got into the business side of it, I just seen Petro go up another gear, and I've got to say Brad Thorne was in that category as well, and there's no doubt at all that they were doing their bit for Whitby.
Yeah, it was a very emotional time. I think that's the most satisfying thing about that whole grand final, is that to see him hold the trophy up, and that was his reward for such a fantastic career.
As the 30-year-old lines up for his 27th test, his opponents are still hoping he doesn't lose his temper.
Yeah, I don't want to be in his way if and when he does lose his temper, but that's not his game,
I'm pretty fortunate that I can contain it pretty well. I'm not someone who yells and then throws things too much, but my wife's pretty happy about that.
The truth be known, the big prop is more fearful of his great friend, coach and mentor.
I always try and stay on his good side. I try not to get him too angry, because I've been on the back end of that and can tell he's not very good.
Great tackle by Civoniceva.
I couldn't imagine, walking off Suncorp, losing, especially in front of my home crowd. So I know that's something that'll be driving me throughout this game.
Terrific piece by Tim Gilbert on Petro Civoniceva. What about some of the quotes from that? Wayne Bennett afraid, Matty, that he may kill someone, Petro Civoniceva.
Excuse me? What were we talking? Knives, guns, nunchucks?
I think it's a figure of speech.
Okay.
I think it's a figure of speech, but a good quote too, Sterlo, from Brian Noble, the Great Britain coach, said, "You don't have to be a madman to be a bad man." That sums up Petro Civoniceva in the eyes of the Great Britain coach.
It does. I think the quiet ones are always the ones to watch out for. Adrian Morley fits into that category as well. You've got to remember that this year the representative football is very different for Petro Civoniceva with no Shane Webke there. But I think that he would have relished the opportunity and the challenge of coming up against elite performers in this tournament, such as Stuart Fielden, Adrian Morley, Ruben Wickie, Roy Asatasi, that man Jamie Peacock. His actions speak much louder than his words.
Well, can I say too, on Brian Noble's quote, I think you should also have, you can be a madman and be a good man, because you're a madman, Matty, and you're a good man.
I like to think
you can be
man.
both.
And that's you're saying. I mean, that is the pot calling the kettle black.
What about a tip for tonight?
Well, I tell you what, I think Australia by 10 or 12 points. I will say that looking at Great Britain warming up, I think they look good. I think they're ready to go, but I think it will be too good.
And Sterlo?
Oh, no margin for me, but I think the Australians will win on a no-nonsense, kick-chase, mistake-free game tonight. I think Ricky Stewart very, very keen to have them come up with a good performance to take into the final next week.
All right, let's go back down to the ground, and the last thought of Phil Gould.
Thank you, Andrew. I can just say that you're all mad and you're all bad. Different build-up for this game for these two teams. Great Britain have been out here for seems an age, working on their defensive drills. They're all sweating it up. Let's see if they can take that out onto the field. Australia are in the dressing room, nice and quiet and composed. We know how intense their build-up has been to this, but very composed tonight. This field has never looked better, hard and fast. Perfect opportunity for Australia to bounce back for form, and they have to, because I think they've been pretty disappointing. Their loss to Great Britain 2 weeks ago was a shock, and I think we can put it down to a couple of reasons. Firstly, the Australian defence. They only conceded 3 tries in the game, but 2 of them were particularly soft. This one, Sean Long setting up for Paul Wellens with a couple of innocuous dummies on the edges of the ruck. That to me just lacks intensity and attitude. And in the second half, the second try was really soft. Just a barge over from close range. You wouldn't see that in NRL competition, let alone in a test match. Hence the intense build-up for this one to get their attitude right in that respect. The other one was our attack. Now, we moved the ball to Darren Lockyer at every opportunity. Our forwards failed to go forward before they did that, and it became very predictable and soft for Great Britain to tackle. Look at the way the Kiwis treated them last week. They just came out with this all-out assault on the advantage line. Big man after big man taking on his opponent one-on-one and pushing them out of the way. Get out of them away. I don't want to be tackled. Even the backs ran without fear. The big wingers and centres came in field looking for the ball and really cut a hole through the middle of this Great Britain defence, who to me looked gun-shy. As soon as you ran hard and straight, they didn't want to be a part of it. Now, you can imagine, if the Australian forwards can provide that sort of platform and then throw the ball wide to Darren Lockyer, he will tear them apart. But we got it wrong a fortnight ago. We went to him too early and too often. I can tell it's a great atmosphere down here. The Barmy Army is in. They're singing. They're in full voice. They're trying to support Great Britain. But I got a message for them. And it's in the words of our former Prime Minister, Mr. Gough Whitlam. Well may they sing God Save the Queen, because nothing will help Great Britain tonight. Let's go to the break. We'll be back with all the action. Tri Nations football live and exclusive here on Channel 9.
It's the Holden 06 stock clearance. Get the 06 plated Viva Hatch and Sedan with 12 months.
Welcome back to Suncorp, live on Nine's Wide World of Sports, Game 6 of the Tri Nations. And what about this? November 18, and a crowd of well over 40,000 here tonight. It is big. It's not just Kangaroo supporters either. The Great Britain supporters will be in full voice tonight. Great Britain needing to win to qualify for the final. And out among the crowd is our Brisbane resident, Ben Eichen. Ben, good evening.
Yes, thanks, Andrew. If the Australian team thought they had the home ground advantage here tonight, think again. This is the Barmy Army. They're on fire. They're pumped up. They've come in for the rugby league. They're staying for the cricket. And I know one thing for sure and certain. If this Great Britain side comes out with half as much passion as their supporters, the Aussies are going to have their work cut out for them. Back up to you, boys.
Thank you, Benny. And what a night it is here for rugby league. And then in Brisbane on Thursday as well, the first Ashes test. You'll see it live and exclusive on Nine's Wide World of Sports. What a week. The final next Saturday night in Sydney of the Tri Nations. Bulls letters represented tonight. It's all good stuff, and it's really to whet the appetite for the Ashes cricket from 10:30 Thursday morning, daylight savings time. So much build up to that, so much build up to this though. A fortnight ago, Great Britain beating Australia 23-12. Unexpected as it was, and even though Australia have qualified, many of us want to see more than just a win tonight. We want to see the green and gold at their best, because the Kiwis are waiting. They put their stamp on this series last week. If they qualify for the final, they're going to be mighty tough to beat. Live in the dressing rooms, and now Jamie Peacock takes the Great Britain side out on the Suncorp. First time here since 1999. Peacock, as Serlo mentioned in the preview, superb last week in a badly beaten side. Wellens will be at the back.
A new sensation for most of these players coming out in front of a crowd here at Suncorp. Both Adrian Morley and Keith Senior were here back in 1999. The first time for all of these players. They will relish the atmosphere. They love the atmosphere of the close crowds back in their own Super League. And the Suncorp Stadium atmosphere is very akin to that. Crowd very close to them. They'll appreciate that. So too the Aussies, as they come out to what will be a big roar.
Biggest test crowd in Brisbane was way back in 1954. It was 46,355. They had over 45,000 here in 66. And here come the Aussies. Darren Lockyer at the head of the queue at his 34th test tonight. Now up to equal third on the all-time list in the green and gold. What a reception here at Suncorp Stadium. seller here tonight. He can retire on the Gold Coast. Great sight. Green and gold flags, the Australian flags around the ground. And this is meant to be a match that doesn't count for much for the Kangaroos. They love it up here. They love the test footy. The series has provided so much. And given the stage we have for tonight, you reckon there could be something special here as well. God Save the Queen tonight, to be sung by Amy Pearson. Test Match League on Channel 9. Great Britain and Australian players lined up centre ground. Adrian Morley ready to go off the bench tonight.
God save our gracious Queen, long live our noble Queen. God save our Queen. Sing her victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us. God save our
They are ready, there can be no question. The Great Britain squad. The Australians embrace. They have belted out the anthem right through this series tonight. They will accompany Patrice Tupoki with Advance Australia Fair.
Australians of red hearts rejoice, for we are young and free. With golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts, all beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, Advance Australia
Peter Sterling, Phil Gould and commentary. We had the privilege back in 2000 of being at Old Trafford for the World Cup final. Theatre of Dreams. Well, you'd have to think this atmosphere matches that tonight. And I didn't think I'd ever find myself saying that, because that is an incredible venue.
It's a wonderful rugby league ground, his Suncorp Stadium. Paul Simpkins again in charge tonight, his 5th international, the first time that he has been in charge of an Australian test. And you would think that the interpretation that the players know through the NRL would be in their favour again tonight as Darren Lockyer prepares to get us underway.
We start game 6 with a captain, Darren Lockyer. Kangaroos coming through in one line, get set for the first hit. Fielden bounced away from Tate and managed to get back to the 10-metre line. So Great Britain, they win, they're in the final. Kangaroos win. It's Australia versus New Zealand next week. Here is the Lions captain, Peacock. Hindmarsh around the legs. Gasnier over the top. Now for Gareth Hock. Made his debut in this series, has made a fine fist of it. You've got to remember, this is the 4th straight week of Test match footy for the Great Britain side. They get the first penalty of the night, 20 metres out from their own line. And if you count the warm-up game against the Newcastle rep side, it's 5 straight weeks. It's a tough task.
He'll be disappointed with that, Ricky Stewart. The defence of the Australians would have had Great Britain kicking deep from their own territory. As it is, that's the first tackle now with a driving one on halfway.
Hock was hit. Senior, they come to centre field, and Horn gets his first touch. Played in the Super League Grand Final this year for Hull, and he has played 8 Test matches. So he's no newcomer. Newton on for Peacock. Hit by Ryan, 35 metres out from the Kangaroos line. Newton, that stunning step, and Fielden is upended by Kite. That's a nice welcome to Brisbane. Now Newton runs away, gets tackled by Kite again. Fielden, the best Great Britain have got. He ran into Kite. Now Maguire steadies for the kick, puts it out the wing of Inglis, and Inglis, his first touch is a good one tonight. And Simpkins has caught them for driving into the in goal.
He's done very well, Greg Inglis. He got to the ground. Big tackle, Brent Kite on Stuart Fielden. And then it was a nice kick from Danny Maguire. Inglis had to take the ball in the field of play, got down, and it's deemed to be a second tackle.
Close call, but a let off for the Australians. Now Cameron Smith for Thurston in the headgear, Sivanasiva with it. Tackled by Newton. And Fielden. Now Smith. On for Kite, almost forward there. And another penalty goes the way of the Kangaroos, this time for offside.
Poor discipline there from Great Britain. There wasn't one player on side at that play the ball. They all creeped up. The slowness in the play the ball, and look at the lack of discipline here in the Great Britain line. They all march forward to the referee. He points to them, but they carry on regardless, and now give Australia great field position. They can't do that.
Back-to-back penalties, and they're off their own line, the Kangaroos. Thurston having a bit to say. He's with the ball right now. Sivanasiva charges onto it and takes the Kangaroos up to the Great Britain 30-metre line. Peacock was the defender. Now Hindmarsh. He is tackled centre field 25 metres out. Smith takes the Kangaroos to the left. Thurston stumbled as he received the ball. Inglis found himself centre field. Driven to ground by Peacock. Kangaroos with a great chance. Thurston a dummy, and then was taken down by Newton. Hock there as well for Great Britain. Lockyer out for Gazdia. Great tackle. Superb tackle on Gazdia by Horn. Last tackle. Lockyer. Left foot kick aimed at the upright. It's there for Hodges. And there's one of the Queenslanders, one of the Broncos, who has scored the first try. It is 4 points to 0. Hodges gets it.
Well, Great Britain had done so well for the first 5, and the kick travelled a long way. You wonder how the try scorer Justin Hodges got there, but really the far players did not react well enough for Great Britain, especially the player close to the posts. The kick is a good one, but just not enough urgency there from Danny Maguire, and too late for Martin Gleeson to get back in time.
Well, Martin Gleeson didn't react at all. When those grubber kicks go into your in goal like that, you've got to watch your opposition number to see who's chasing. Hodges was chasing and Martin Gleeson was watching the kicker. Once he knows the kick is coming, he's just got to look to see where the chases are coming from, and Hodges just beat him to the jump. Gleeson reacted way too slowly, and that's the sort of poor education sometimes that gets this Great Britain side in trouble. Soft penalty, then a bad read on tackle 5. Thurston for the perfect start.
Hodges, one of 6 Broncos in this Kangaroo side. Thurston back in, he becomes the first choice kicker, and it's 6-0, Matthew John sideline.
Yeah, great sign for the Kangaroos. I think that's the best set of 6 I've seen Australia play so far this series in attack. They didn't try to play sideways, they played straight and they played fast, and Lockyer put the finishing touches on. Oh, they're in the mood tonight.
So Great Britain find themselves behind in a game they have to win. Wellens restart. Lockyer ready to go as Kite. Kite brings it over to centre field. Ellis went up just a little high. Joined in the tackle by Newton and O'Loughlin. Smith and away with O'Donnell. Kept alive for Thurston. Now there's trouble. There's Hodges. Now there's big trouble. It's Inglis. Inglis is tackled. Able to keep it alive. Hodges with the ball. 35 metres from the line. And there are alarm bells ringing everywhere for Great Britain. Thurston inside the 30. Now they open them up with Hunt. tackled 20 metres from the line. Look at this Kangaroos machine slip into gear right now. Lockyer out for Gaznia. Gaznia stutters, gets there. Back-to-back tries in back-to-back sets of 6. What a sensational start. And it is 10 points to 0.
You want to know Australia's best pickup line? Toyota Material Handling, Australia's best pickup line.
Julie's Total Tools Makita Holden Crewman 50 grand giveaway. Mighty Makita 305mm slide compound saw with a free circular saw and a free planer. Did you say a free circular saw and a free planer? What? $999? You could be our lucky winner. Only at Julie's Total Tools.
Live on Channel 9. Incredible start here. 10-0. Kangaroos over Great Britain. Crowds excited. Wonderful rugby league. A try to each of the centres.
And the speed of the play the ball and the precision passing from the Australians proving too much for the Great Britain defence. It started with the break down the far side, but a couple in numbers. And then the second man play, they send through Hindmarsh. You can see the staggered defensive line. Key Senior playing inside the halfback Richard Horn. Gareth Rayner is back. Senior is up. The staggered defence will be cut to pieces by Mark Gaznia and co.
9 test tries now for Gaznia. Back over to Thurston. 4 metres in from touch. You can ride this kick home. What a start. Thurston's kick with the swing. He's got it. It's 2 from 2. And it is 12-0 in 9 minutes.
And already the difference in the Australian attack. Punching the ball through the middle of the ruck with short passes and strong charges before going wide to the likes of Lockyer and his 2 big centres. They found space down the left from their own half of the field, then once close to the line they got it to Mark Gaznia, a prolific try scorer. Good signs from the Australians. Great Britain need to muscle up here.
Kite comes back again and reinstated Senior. This 100% improvement on what the Kangaroos showed just a fortnight ago. Here is Ryan, Bulldogs captain in the Kangaroos side, replacing Bulldogs teammate Willie Mason. Here is Tate. Second game of the series. Matt King sidelined with a calf injury. Tate with a great opportunity. Now here's the kicking game of Cameron Smith from just outside the 40. Hodges is leading the chase. Wellens is back there. Lockyer's also there. Hodges, they're all there. O'Donnell, Inglis, ready to go.
Yeah, nice planned move there. The outside chasers knew the kick was coming early in the count from Cameron Smith. Well covered by Wellens. So much talk about completion rates when they got beaten 2 weeks ago. That would have been the emphasis tonight. If the pass is in doubt, don't throw it. We'll take a quick play the ball.
Gareth Rayner's come in for a run out of dummy half and ran into the clutches there of Brent Kite. So Great Britain doing it real tough. They can't afford to look at that scoreboard. It'll only make them feel worse. Ellis tackled 15 metres inside their own half. Kick deep, taken on the full by Carmichael Hutt. He comes back at full speed and ran headlong into Fielden and Hock. And back on the Kangaroos 40. Gaznia. Tate gets another touch. And Newton there. Hock went in with an upending tackle that's only going to get himself in trouble. Peacock involved, but Hock went for the legs.
Oh, just took a deep breath. He's had terrible neck problems, this young man, Tate. Terrible injury problems, but particularly his neck. You can see the protective gear he has on the back there just to keep his spine straight.
Big welcome to our Victorian viewers at 12-0 live on Channel 9. Great start by the Kangaroos, back-to-back tries, and they're 21 metres away from the Great Britain line again. Smith out for Thurston. Thurston finds O'Donnell. Got away from Maguire almost. Maguire only just hanging on. 5 away. Gaznia's come over to the left side of the field. And will be called to play it. Wellens there with Maguire. Now back for Thurston. On the 10. Lockyer. Sivanasiva gives it out the back for Hunt. All the Broncos there combining. Hunt swung around on the tackle. Lachlan finished it off. Still 11 metres away. Cameron Smith. Lockyer puts it down. Thurston picks it up. Simpkins said knock back. O'Donnell floats it over the top. Inglis out on the wing. Is tackled by Gleeson and Price. 11 and a half gone and a 12-0 scoreline. Thurston now kicks back. Maguire's across there, just too strong. Went touch in goal and a 20-minute restart.
But again, you can see the preparation that the Australians have put into this game. The early kick from Cameron Smith. Everybody knew on the left side it was coming. The chasers on the short side there knew that the kick was coming back from Thurston. They have been well drilled into how to approach this game tonight.
Peacock ran there at Hindmarsh and Kite. Kite has started this game strongly. Manly front rower in the starting side tonight. Rayner's coming off the wing again. Another hit up. Collected there by Lockyer and by Ryan. Now Newton, 40 metres out from the Great Britain line. Hock with it. He's aggressive. He's back rower from Wigan.
He's a good player. I like him. He'd benefit from coming to Australia, playing the week in, week out intensity in the NRL.
Fielden has lined up again. Kite's a man on a mission. Every time that Fielden has touched the ball so far. Horn decides to spread it. Maguire off the fingertips of O'Loughlin, out for Gleeson. He gets the grubber kick through. It's a damn good one. Gleeson's with it and tackled on the last 20 metres out from the line. So Great Britain show us what they've got, and it was pretty good. 12-0 scoreline. And a reminder in a big week on the wide world of sports. Ashes to Ashes, Tuesday night at the Brisbane Concert Hall. 9:30 on your screens. Check your local guides. Final word, final thoughts on the Ashes series, which begins at the Gabba on Thursday. Thurston. Offloading for O'Donnell. Peacock involved again in the tackle with Ellis. He's already up to double figures in the tackle count. So too is Newton for Great Britain. Over the head of Price, the kick, and they find the line. Great control, but what a start it was. 2 tries for the Kangaroos.
It certainly was. And here's the one with Martin Gleeson, the opposition centre, really didn't read that Hodges was on the chase there on tackle 5. And then from another penalty, they get down the other end of the field and Lockyer with a bullet-like pass to Gasnier. He only needs half an ounce of room to get through. Half a yard of room to get through. You can't have half an ounce of room, can you? Half a yard of room to break through. He did it comfortably. Jonathan Thurston playing a big hand in the opening stages of this game. A lot of touches, a lot of short passes, a couple of good kicks.
And the scrum just outside the line's 10-metre line. Now Lachlan, the lock, having to heel that in the scrum. Not often seen. Come out of trouble. Hock there. Ken, the ball just spits out of his hands and fielded by Newton. And Lachlan away for Ellis. Ellis almost back to the 30. Could have been a turnover. And Gleeson, Peacock picking out Thurston, the runner. Great Britain get a penalty.
I think you see it was a well-delivered pass, actually. It's just as well as support players knew that the pass was coming. Penalty, another good relieving one for Great Britain here that will allow them to start a set of 6. Just 44 metres, 45 metres out from the opposition line. Their best chance in the opening 15 minutes.
Fire on for Fielden, and there was Kite again waiting. And front on with Cameron Smith, 42 metres from the Kangaroos line. Horn across, dumps it off inside for Wellens. St Helens fullback, Super League Player of the Year, the #1 for Great Britain. Another hit up here for Peacock. Kite, Sivanasiva and Hindmarsh combined in that tackle. Newton, those few steps out, got to pass away. Fielden must wonder what's going on. He's got a bullseye on him. He was really stunned by the tackle. The Great Britain #1 front rower. Now Maguire held up 18 metres out from the line. Last tackle here for Great Britain. slow play the ball. Newton, O'Loughlin, short side, kicks back to in goal. Hunt's there. That's easy for the Australian fullback.
Well, Fielden copying the brunt of the Australian frustration at the last loss, and I cannot believe the Great Britain coach Brian Noble hasn't got Adrian Morley out there to start this game. Their most important clash, one for credibility, and they leave their best forward and toughest forward on the bench. Fielden's got to do it all himself.
Australians make their first change, 16 and a half in, and the Melbourne Storm front rower Kafusi's out there. On debut, Antonio Kafusi on for Brent Kite. Now Hindmarsh with it. Inside Great Britain territory again. There he is, Kafusi.
Their first Tongan-born player to represent Australia in rugby league. Big night as Cameron Smith, fresh from the shoulder charge, picks up some metres around the ruck area on the last. Darren Lockyer to the right.
Hunt back to Lockyer. Goes high, centre field. Leon Price is going to be called into action. Price comes up with a catch. Nat tries to weave out of trouble. Let's get down to Matthew Johns.
Yeah, well, I can tell you, Vossi, the Brian Noble's answer Gus has called. Here comes Adrian Morley. I tell you, he's ready to fired up to get out there. They need an injection of belief, these young guys.
And it is Fielden going off. Morley on for Fielden. Senior centre field. Nice fan. Got it on Lockyer. Now Rayner with the ball. And Lockyer, having missed a tackle, quick to get up, take his position, and eliminated any chance of an overlap. Great Britain also bringing on James Roby. There's been a real find. Here's Morley's first touch.
You watch the way the attack improves with Roby and hooker. Straight away they're going forward, 10 metres, puts them on the front foot. Terry Newton is not creative. That's why the forwards are getting belted. Last tackle now.
Horn, centre field with Maguire, goes high again, was knocked down after kicking, comes down for Carmichael Hunt. Was Cameron Smith who came through. Touch judges stand their ground. Carmichael Hunt's in trouble. Great work from Great Britain. Gareth Hock was the player who got there first, and Horn finished it off.
Well, you can run in any direction in rugby league as long as it's forward. There's a hit by Cameron Smith. I don't think he could have pulled out. It's test match football. You've got to let him know you're there. Carmichael Hunt runs sideways looking to go forward, but gets closer to his own in goal and creates the problem for himself. Run any direction you like, as long as it's forward.
So well done, Great Britain. 12-0 down, but it's been a good passage of play the last 5 minutes. Horn, miss with a trap. Morley gets a run. He comes to centre field and lines up with Kafusi. It is land of the Giants out in the middle. Here's Peacock. He's got good footwork too, the Great Britain captain, and a handy offload.
He got the ball early. They will look better now. They'll go forward. You don't want to play sideways against Australia.
Roby
play on
the deck for Wellens. Trying to position his man. That was Roby. And now Horn 10 metres away from the line. Maguire, they're sent out on the right. They look good here. Ellis with the ball. Ellis gets through one tackle. Held up by Hodges. O'Donnell, Thurston, Sivanasiva. Take a ticket. Who else wants to get there? Leon Price. Great Britain. They kick before the last. Opportunity for Morley. Hunt cuts it off. A kick for Adrian Morley. Look out.
Brilliant read there by Carmichael Hunt. Compare that to the Gleeson read at the other end of the field for the Australian first try. Look at all the defence over there. Carmichael Hunt is there behind the play, the ball pointing to them. Now he'll read it. Desperation to sprint in behind the post and defuse the grubber kick. That's the attention to detail and the knowledge that the Australians have ground into them that the Great Britain players are yet to produce. It makes a difference on big plays.
There's one of those big dropouts from Lockyer. 51 on the fly. Peacock. Working hard, the Great Britain captain. Smith made the tackle for the Kangaroos. He's 12 tackles for the night. A penalty here to Great Britain. Getting a run of possession at the moment. They want a quick restart here. They've got it. Maguire took the tap. He didn't get to the mark, according to Paul Simpkins.
Kick the touch now. No need to start 30 out, surely.
Morley takes the hit up.
Well, they've wasted 20 metres.
Roby on the short side with O'Loughlin. He's got the arm free, back for Roby. He's a real live wire. He's only interchange player at St Helens behind Cunningham and Long. But he's looked fantastic at test level. Horn, cut out ball, senior! Tate had to come in off his wing. That left Rayner unmarked outside.
Great read there.
5 metres out. Horn attacks with Willems. Takes there again. It's great defence by the Kangaroos. Kept alive. Now they're going backwards. Maguire, the trainer, almost came up with a ball for the Lions. Maguire runs into a high shot, or a high-ish shot from Gaznia and Kafusi. Peacock. Sivanasiva goes low. Peacock kept it alive. Roby, great hands. Morley, isn't he involved since coming on? Last tackle. 5 away. Roby. This time it's Maguire with a little kick. Again, he's got it in goal, and Hodges was able to watch it go dead in goal.
A shake of the head from the fans. It was beautiful lead-up. It was one of the occasions where Adrian Morley should have thrown the football. Wonderful work on the inside. Attracted the defenders in, but the Australians handled the pressure. With O'Donnell taking it forward, Mark O'Mealy into the action.
Sivanasiva off for the Kangaroos. What a work rate, 14 tackles, top of the count, and 4 hit-ups as well. So Sivanasiva, second change for the night for the Kangaroos. And here is Hodges, the first try scorer. And one of those jinking runs, Peacock made the tackle with Morley. Cameron Smith gets over halfway, didn't pass to Kafusi. Good tackle, Ellis. Hindmarsh with it, 40 metres out.
4 dummy half runs in a row. That's good work from Australia just to steady the ship. Now a big kick from Lockyer.
Lockyer directs it at Willems this time, just a fraction deep. No real pressure on Paul Willems, who's done all that has been asked of him without necessarily being spectacular in this series. But a very good fullback. Now Gareth Rayner scored that match-sealing try a fortnight ago.
Yeah, it's good stuff from the two wingers coming to take a bit of pressure off the forwards. Their forwards are a little bit tired from all the attacking they did moments ago. Now the backs are getting in and helping out.
Morley met by 3 Kangaroos that time. Off to Warrington next year, Adrian Morley. Kick to the corner. Hunt will have this one cut off. 10 metres out from his own line. He's all alone. The Aussie fullback is picked up by Roby. And O'Loughlin did well high up to prevent the total upend in that tackle. Was on the sideline tonight with Matthew Johns as Ben Eichen. Ben?
There's no doubting at the moment that the Aussies are playing a very physical game. They have brought their game faces, don't worry about that. But the Pommies absorbed the pressure well. In the last 5 minutes, they've gone up another gear. But the key to victory for them tonight is consistency of effort. They are going to have to be at their best for nearly 80 minutes if they're going to beat the Roos.
Live on Channel 9. This game 6 of the Tri-Nations. Played by O'Mealy. Now Lockyer. Gazdia here could be trouble again. He got away from Horn. He stops the pot inside. He goes outside and Tate puts it down. It is a try bomb for the Kangaroos.
The pass was too good. I think Tate thought that he was going to go infield to Lockyer. The beautiful stutter step, falls through, stumbles, gets up. He looks at Lockyer, then plays outside. Perfectly executed. Watch the way he keeps looking back in field at Lockyer. He stumbles, he gets up, he looks at Lockyer, looks straight ahead, out of the corner of the eye, sees his teammate, and then pops the pass. Unfortunately, Tate couldn't handle, but he would have been in for a try.
First handling error, 25 minutes in from the Kangaroos. Roby brings Great Britain out of trouble. Here he is again, James Roby. Gets back to the 30, right through the centre. Horn, O'Loughlin, pass away for Hock. Tate's involved again, Hock. He offloads for Rayner. He runs centre field, round the back of a few teammates. And finished off by O'Mealy. Dramatic start from the Australians. They posted tries through Hodges and Gaznia. That was inside the first 10. Since then, level context. Roby, Fielden's back out there, didn't get the ball there. Smith was there for a marker.
See, just the fact that Roby dummies and runs himself here will at least keep the markers for Australia tight. That way, next time when he does pass, his forwards will have a little bit more room over the advantage line. He mixes it up nicely.
Now Inglis returning the ball, been one of the stars of the series. 4 tries in 3 test matches for Greg Inglis. Now Hodges Tackled by Price and Horn. Interesting, defending on the right side there. May have been a switch. Now O'Mealy with it. Looking to punch his way through the Lions' defence. Coaching staff of Stewart, Bellamy. Kevin Allen, team manager. And now Andrew Ryan.
There's definitely been a change made defensively. Keith Senior now playing inside. Gareth Rayner, the halfback across the other side of the field. Just put that down to the brilliance of Mark Gasnier. He's forced to change.
Tate got locked up in the tackle there of Hock and Senior. Lockyer, last tackle. He's found a space between Wellens and Price. Leon Price decides to play at it. One more bounce, probably goes over the dead ball line. He's done him ahead. He's given the round to the kitchen. He's tackled 5 out.
Well, that's crazy play. The ball was undoubtedly going dead. He'd done all the hard work by allowing it to bounce 1 or 2 times. Would have come back 20 metres out from his own line. The restart. Now it's already 3 tackles wasted and they're not out to the 20.
Gleeson plays it just short of the 20. Roby on for Morley. Runs there at O'Mealy. Adrian would be thinking possibly his last game in Australia. You would hope to still be at the top of the tree for the World Cup, but you just never know. In his 30s then, kick charge down, then fumbled by Hodges. Australia come up with the ball inside the Great Britain half.
Well, they could have come back and started from the 20 metre. As it turned out, Great Britain kicked 25 metres out on the last tackle. It's been charged down. A lot of pressure about to be exerted. That wouldn't have been with a sensible play.
Sean Berrigan on for Lockyer, on for Ryan. Gasty has put it down into the arms of Rayner. Gareth Rayner with the ball. Look at him weave back to halfway, unloads. And with it is Gilmore. He's lost the ball. It's gone 15 metres downfield. Hindmarsh back there, doesn't get to it. Gilmore's chased through. So too is Maguire. Maguire's going to pick it up. Over to the video referee to find out what happened there. He's put it down to score. But what are they ball? Well, the ball went at least 15 metres forward.
Well, we'll come back as to how the ball has left Lee Gilmore's grasp. It's play on after that. But Lee Gilmore is dispossessed either by the opposition or is knocked on to the tune of 10 to 15 metres. And that's a big knock on. This is how Great Britain get the football. It comes to Gareth Rayner. And he will offload. They play on. And this is the 16. Has he shot-putted that? Or has Australia forced that ball to travel that distance?
Well, it's hard to imagine that he's lost it that far forward without some sort of assistance from Australia. Here he is, he'll spin in the tackle and Thurston will come in again. Now, does Thurston make a grab of that? He's got his arm on the ball. You would have to assume he rips it.
Yeah, he's played at it.
But I don't think he could rip it 15 metres. I think the English players also had something to do with it.
Well, I think the swinging, the momentum of the turn, no, he's played at that. This should be play on. Jonathan Thurston has dispossessed the number 16. Don't worry about how far it's gone. He's played at the football.
Well, it's 18 metres, Sterlo. To be exact, it's gone 18 metres downfield.
And how well has Lee Gilmore done to chase through, force the kick, and then Danny Maguire comes through from what we would believe is an onside position. It has to come back to the Thurston incident as to whether this is a try or not. And from what I've seen, I think that he has been instrumental in the ball leaving the grasp of the ball carrier.
I understand the interpretation. I don't like it. I think the Great Britain player's entitled to hold on to it, and he's lost it myself. But it looks as though we're going to get a try.
It's a world record strip, and it is a try. We break Test Match Rugby League on Channel 9. It's 12-4.
The Peugeot 307 HDI diesel. With particle filter technology to reduce emissions, nature will thank you.
Channel 9's Wide World of Sports. And this young man with a big moment to get his side back to 6. The difference didn't strike it at all well. Dragged it across the front of the post. Matthew John sideline.
Yeah, I don't think Danny Maguire's the world's best goalkeeper, but I tell you what, he's a hell of a footballer. He's a real superstar over in the English Super League. I think a couple of years ago he scored something like 35 or 40 tries, and he's in that tradition of Ellery Hanley and Gary Schofield. Just a great opportunist. He's great to watch. I'd love him to come out here in the NRL. It'd really make him.
This last year's series through injury. But Great Britain, they're to be applauded, trailing 12-0 after 9, back to 12-4, and really playing some good football.
And we should also mention, with Sean Long leaving, he was their first-string goal kicker out here as well. So it's another area that they're down in, with the number 7 heading back overseas.
Played by Rayner. Now Morley. Kite over the top with Berrigan, missing the wedding of his brother Barry tonight. 30 metres out from their own line, Great Britain. Roby, then on for O'Loughlin. He makes a difference to this side. He's a wonderful back rower. He's got a kicking game as well. Wigan captain, kicking right from the 40, Maguire. He's almost desperate to keep one leg inside that 40 zone. Carmichael Hunt tackled.
Now that they're on the board, the lines are so important that Australia aren't allowed to strike back immediately. This is a very important 5-minute period coming up to minutes into half-time. As the Australians come wide through Lockyer again, an overlap is created, but Rayner does well to come up and get Gasnier, who offloads to Lockyer.
Lockyer almost lost the shorts, was tackled there by Morley and by Fielden. Kangaroos in possession, outside the 40. Thurston to centre field. Dummy! Thurston through! Thurston tries to step Wellens. Back to Brent Kite, and Wellens got 2 for the price of 1. He tackled Thurston, he tackled Kite. Lockyer. Thurston's there again, there's 2 of them. Now just 3 metres from the line, the last tackle. Hodges, not a good ball on the bounce to Lockyer. Lockyer straightens up. He looks to make something of it. O'Mealy's with it, kept it alive. Hunt's over. Hunt's got it down.
Last tackle.
Simpkins wants to check it with video referee Chris Ward. May have just been a bobble at the end from Carmichael Hunt.
Well, the reaction from the players is very positive. Paul Simpkins was in great position to call on this, but he still opted to go upstairs just to make sure. Last tackle, the Australians desperate to keep the football alive. Darren Lockyer offloaded. Mark O'Mealy was there. It is the last tackle. He's got to get rid of it. Mark O'Mealy gets the football. He too must find support. He does so in the shape of the number 1. 1-on-1 here. And as the ball gets close to the line, Carmichael Hunt puts it down for a try.
No problem with that whatsoever. Good urgency by the Australian side, sparked by Jonathan Thurston, who I said earlier has had a lot of touches in the opening part of this game. An incisive run put them on the attack. And Lockyer, after receiving a bad pass on tackle 5, keeps it alive. Carmichael Hunt will roll it off his chest, off his shoulder, down onto the ground. Arm in control, no problem. They can't take that one off Australia.
They did take one off Gareth Rayner last week for Great Britain.
Yeah, they've learnt their lesson.
They did a wonderful job to get that one down. And again, that's what the Australians are very good at, hitting back. They're under pressure, they conceded points.
There's the decision. We'll take a break on Channel 9. Hunt, the Kangaroos' 3rd try scorer.
It's empty! Man, you cannot be serious.
Won't happen with Eco Springs. Endless cool drinking water. Don't lose your cool this summer. Eco Springs.
It's an 06 Holden stock clear out. New V6 Commodore Ute, auto or manual with air, clearing out for only $23,990 with a big 6-year warranty and no repayments for 3 months. But hurry, only for a limited time at Cessnock City Holden.
16 points to 4 in front of a crowd of over 40,000 here at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. Live on Nine's Wide World of Sports tonight. By the way, Carmichael Hunt, the try scorer, turned 20 yesterday. So Inglis, the lone teenager in the test side. Thurston successful again. He's 3 from 3. It's 18 points to 4.
He's had a lot of good moments in this first 40 minutes, Jonathan Thurston. The big dummy there, everybody fell for it. And it resulted at the end of that in Carmichael Hunt on the last tackle, extending the lead not far out from half-time. In a very good opening half from the Australians. I think Ricky Stewart would be well satisfied with what he's seen.
18-4, that one bounced a little awkwardly there for Lockyer. Reminder about Ashes to Ashes, all you people in Brisbane. Tickets still available, $25 Tuesday night at the Brisbane Concert Hall, and it's not just talking cricket, some fine musical entertainment as well. The likes of Evermore, Sherbet, Westlife, David Campbell, all performing on the night. So tickets still available, 136246 the number to call. And the whole shebang you'll see on Channel 9 from 9:30. And then day one of the Ashes first test on Thursday at the Gabba. As Lockyer kicks from inside the 40. And this one on the bounce to Wellens.
When I say the first 40 minutes of Australia, we're only 33 into this, so Ricky Stewart will be looking for a nice last 7 minutes to take them into the break. Sean Berrigan is now out there, slotting into the dummy half roll. Pete Senior comes in at first receiver. Slips out of the Brent Kai tackle and is able to slip the football. Maguire up the middle.
Kiter's got plenty out of his defensive game tonight. He's gone in for the big shot a number of times. Got a beauty away on field and early. Bit up there for Gilmore. Nice and aggressive. Gets a little facial from O'Donnell. Roby out for Maguire. Gleeson was forced back infield. Gilmore flat-footed. Lockyer came up. Great Britain with Fielden. He gets inside the Kangaroos half. Does well with O'Mealy on his back. 22 away. O'Mealy's gone to sleep on. Roby. And now Ellis. Ellis with it. Lifted and driven back. Kept it alive into the arms there of Roby. Roby tackle. Matthew John sideline.
Let's have a look at this set of 6. They need something quickly, the Great Britain side. Just want to talk about Jonathan Thurston. Look, as Sterlo knows, when you're playing the halves, little subtleties make a big difference. That kicks out the full. That's a big mistake at a vital time. But subtleties make the big difference. You watch Thurston tonight. He's rolling onto the football. He's not content to just stand and shovel the ball sideways to Lockyer. When he takes the line on, things fall into place.
Made his debut here, Jonathan Thurston, back in May. In the green and gold. Kite's lost the ball. Stripped.
Through in there.
Says referee Simpkins. So the Kangaroos with a penalty and a touch finder that will take them deep into Great Britain territory.
And this is where all the training and all the preparation that Great Britain have put into this campaign must come to the fore. 4.5 minutes left. They trail by 14. That's a tough road anyway, but any more into the break would just about blow this game. Darren Lockyer, a fine touch finder. 25 out. Great Britain have to rise to the occasion defensively here to be no worse than 14 at the break.
Thurston centre field with O'Mealy. Stopped there by O'Loughlin and Morley. 25 away. Berrigan. Lockyer over his shoulder. Second time tonight he's put one down. Then Ryan was tackled. 28 metres from the line. Sean Berrigan. Brent Kite runs straight. Gets them to the 20. Great Britain defence to this point solid in the set. Berrigan. Lockyer, O'Donnell on his outside. He was the decoy on the bounce, scooped up there by Hodges. He tries a little shuffle on Lowe's and Inglis pulls it in. Michael Jordan then goes over the sideline. Well, he's got long arms. He needed to have to catch that one.
And some pretty smart work out there. I think it was Gareth Ellis in the number 12 jersey. One-on-one with Greg Inglis after Justin Hodges. It's a high pass away, beautifully taken by the 5. And then all of a sudden, it is the second rower up against a flying winger, and he did very, very well. As did Greg Inglis to take that football.
Just a glimpse of his sublime skills, really, Greg Inglis. That was quite a take. Number one he did to score in his Origin debut this year. O'Loughlin put it down there, but play on the call. Might come out of trouble, but it could have been a disaster there for Great Britain. Cleaned up by Gleeson. Now Gilmore. Hit hard and low down by Berrigan. Finished off by Hindmarsh. Roby Morley passes well. Great Britain with Wellens. He almost lost it. It was a fine piece of skill to be able to hang on to it as he was falling. Roby passes off the deck away for Wellens. Could be an overlap right side. Ellis tries to fend. Goes over the top of Thurston. And he's cut down from behind by Hodges. 21 metres out. O'Loughlin goes short side. Was trying to link up with Price. Just couldn't follow up with a big play, Great Britain. Last tackle, Leon Price to Maguire. Goes low with a kick again. Lockyer straight onto it. The Aussie captain. And the Kangaroos are back in possession. Castia hit over the top there by Morley. Needed a really big play after the break. It was soft down the short side.
Yeah, maybe the bomb would have been the better option on the last, just turned it into a lottery. Nice work leading up to that. Danny Maguire was flying on the outside of Paul Wellens. Lovely little offload there from the front rowers close to the ruck to open the defence up as Berrigan finds Kite on the inside.
And quite a bit of their attack tonight at Jonathan Thurston as well. Kite will play it 15 metres inside the Kangaroos half. Lockyer is the trusty left boot. Down to Leon Price, 20 metres out from his own line. A potential match winner in this Great Britain side. Gareth Rayner has seen more of the football tonight. Now with Wellens. Hindmarsh again over the top. Hindmarsh 23 tackles. Far and away the highest of any player out there. No one surprised who follows Hindmarsh week to week. Now Richard Horn. And a tough night for their new number 7. In defence especially early on. Now Roby. Another 10 metres. Tackled by O'Mealy. Wellens with Maguire right up to the line. He got it behind. One of his chasers was put down. It was O'Loughlin. He was shouldered sideways, so penalty to Great Britain. 25 out. 30 seconds remaining first half. Simpkins says time off, Sterlo.
Yes, they kick the football away, the Australians, so it's a quick restart from Morley, and that's a good one. They'll get 3 or 4 tackles in here before the half-time siren.
Roby, Maguire, big finish to the half. Here's Horn, gets it for Wellens, tries a step. Lockyer, great tackle. On the bounce, the pass back to Horn. Wrapped up by Berrigan. Just seconds remaining in the first half. Rayner brings it to centre field. Needs to do something. There he passes. They're lined up out to the right. Comes back for Morley. Gets his first kick in of his career. Fielded by Carmichael Hunt. Hunt brings it back for the Kangaroos. And it completes a mighty entertaining first half. The Aussies 2 tries inside the first 10 minutes. Since then, quite a contest. 18 points to 4. 3 tries to 1. We'll be back after the break for half-time, including player cam and all the big plays. This is Tri Nations Rugby League live on Saturday night on Channel 9.
The planet's toughest conditions in a Subaru Forester. Our symmetrical all-wheel drive system ensures superior grip on all surfaces, while a 5-star ANCAP occupant safety rating means you'll always travel safely. And now there's never been a better time to buy a Forester X at drive-away prices, from only $31,990 RRP drive-away. Offer only available for a limited time, so hurry into your local Subaru retailer and drive away in the award-winning Forester X. Offer excludes government buyers.
I challenge any tyre dealer to beat my prices. Can you afford to buy tyres from anyone else?
My father made that challenge many years ago. Now we go one better. Guaranteed lowest prices. If you find a lower advertised price on a catalogue item, we'll match it and refund 10% of the difference.
For more great deals, see me, Ken, at the Newcastle West T-Mart.
Or me, Michael, at the Katara T-Mart today.
50% off selected Shimano fishing rods and 60% off selected soft plastics. Spin combos from $20. Pen spin fishers $189. Handheld GPS $100 off. How much better is this? 15% off all camp lighting, chairs, tables and airbeds. Waco 3-way coolers $389. And electric motors just landed. Plus shop now for your chance to win the Shimano $50,000 giveaway. But hurry, for a limited time only.
Spot the dent, find the scratch, get your glasses on. Harvey Norman Home Starters has an ever-changing range of cheap buys. Factory seconds, damaged cartons, run-out models will save you money. Plus brand new stock like LCDs, plasmas, DVD recorders and heaters. Now at Harvey Norman Home Starters, 9 Ways Broadmeadow only.
Toolies Total Tools Makita Holden Crewman 50 grand giveaway. Makita 115mm 600 watt industrial angle grinder with a free Makita diamond wheel cuts, tiles and concrete. What? $89? Exclusive to Toolies limited stock. You could be our lucky winner only at Toolies Total Tools.
Welcome to the brand new Hunter Homeland. 7 leading new home builders, 12 stunning new home designs, ideal for our Hunter lifestyle. You'll find the very latest new home concepts, inside and out. Fabulous 1- and 2-story designs and up-to-the-minute expert advice to help you find your perfect home. Visit the brand new Hunter Homeland now on Minmay Road, Fletcher, opposite Bishop Tyrrell College, and build better in the Hunter.
It's a Maitland Toyota's 2006 model run-out. With over 230 vehicles marked to clear, there's a model and a price to suit. Corolla, Yaris, Hilux, Land Cruiser and more. Australian Dealer of the Year. #1 nationally for customer service. Competitive finance packages are just a few reasons why Maitland Toyota won't be beaten. Don't sign anything until you give them a try. Maitland Toyota 2006 model run-out on now.
Remember the trends that were so hot?
You've got to wear shoes like these.
Or maybe not.
My friend, I think they're lovely.
This countdown will have you spinning out of control. 20 to 1 Fads and Fashions. Sunday, 6:30 on NBN.
Look at this Kangaroos machine slip into gear right now. Lockyer. Out for Gazia. Stutters gets there.
Yeah, great half of football from the Australians. A great start. They've gone off the gas a little bit. Welcome back to Nine's Test Match football. Let's have a look at the score breakdown. 18-4 to the Australians. Now, the interesting thing, 173 tackles to Australia, 136 to Great Britain. Great Britain has dominated possession. That's interesting, Benny Ike.
Yeah, look, I think it's all happening out there. The Aussies really turned up to play. We noted on the sideline how physical they were. They come with their game faces on. The forwards have really aimed up. And what I think it's done is it's created some space for those slick outside backs. Mark Gaznia in outstanding form tonight.
I tell you, he's been good as well, and that's Jonathan Thurston. He's the player cam. Just have a look at some of this stuff. What have you made of it, Ben?
Well, I think for a guy that was rested, hasn't played a game basically for 3 weeks, didn't play a whole heap of football at the back end of the season, he has been in superb touch. Have a look at him. Kids at home watch him when he's got the ball. It's in 2 hands, nice, crisp, clean passing, all the time asking questions to the opposition defence. I think he has been somewhere near his best in this particular game.
Yeah, he plays his best football when he gets over that advantage. But that's Jonathan Thurston over and out of not shoveling the ball sideways. That was his try, that one that led to the one by Carmichael Hunt. And look at that's Jonathan Thurston. That's what we see at North Queensland.
Hey, he's all class, but he loves playing it tough as well. He gets in there and mixes it with the big guys. That's what I like about him. He just loves Test match football. He loves the big occasions. Love watching the guy play.
He's a good player. Let's have a look at the big plays as some of the tries out of the first half. Now look at this one. A great kick from Darren Lockyer that set the motion for the first 15-20 minutes of the match.
Common mistake, really. They really should have got back to this. I love this pass from Darren Lockyer. Crisp as it comes, got onto the best centre in the world in Mark Gazia, crashes over the line. He's back in superb form.
And Benny, I think Brian Nable's got to make an adjustment on young Richard Horn. I mean, Gazia's really got his measure. He's going to put the kid in a straitjacket.
That was about as good as it gets, wasn't it? He feigned to the left, flicked past the Tate on the right. Here he goes again. Unfortunate this, but what it did result in was an opportunity for the English side, and they made the best of it. There was a bit of contention over whether or not this was a knock-on. Obviously proven that it wasn't. But Gareth Ellis, the work from him after the knock-on, the follow-through, come up with a kick, put it into the open play, and there's this guy that you love to watch, Danny Maguire. He pounces. He's an opportunist. He follows this all the way through to get the Pommies back into the match.
And Benny, just when they started to come back, we struck back again as we do a lot. You said it before with Great Britain.
it's got to be 80 minutes of consistent effort. Hasn't been the case.
That's right. In attack, they've been good, but in defence, they've been a little bit shoddy. They've been making some poor decisions. On this particular occasion, that was one of those instances. They didn't defend where they should have defended. We see here down at the Aussie rooms at the moment, if I'm Ricky Stewart, I'll tell you what I'm telling the boys, keep going. You put in a great preparation. We're where we need to be at half-time. If we go out and execute the game plan that you've got, we can bring this one home.
Yeah, I think they can. Without a doubt, if I'm Ricky Stewart, I'm saying don't push the ball sideways. They've got a big pack of forwards. Go at it with bodies of motion. What about Brian Noble? What's he saying, Ben?
Well, it's hard to say, you know, because I said at the start when I went to the sideline, look, it was about consistency of effort. We can't say that enough. With the Pommies, the big mistake they've made throughout this Tri-Nations tournament is coming in waves. If they can come out in this next 40 minutes, believe you me, they have the talent to pile on the points. If the big forwards aim up, Jamie Peacock, Stu Fielden, and that bloke, Adrian Morley, who can be so good, start to get the yards up the middle, believe you me, they have got the players to get the points and cross the line.
Well, Benny, you sound pretty pumped. You go and sit down and settle down. We've got a big second half coming up, okay?
I can't wait.
Go and sit down, pal. Have a drink. Now, the cricket coming up shortly on Channel 9, the Ashes. We can't wait for it, and it all starts on Thursday.
The planet's toughest conditions in a Subaru Forester. Our symmetrical all-wheel drive system ensures superior grip on all surfaces, while a 5-star ANCAP occupant safety rating means you'll always travel safely. And now there's never been a better time to buy a Forester X at drive-away prices. From only $31,990 RRP drive-away. Offer only available for a limited time, so hurry into your local Subaru retailer and drive away in the award-winning Forester X. Offer excludes government buyers.
Preview tomorrow's living today at the new Central Coast Home Zone Display Village. Experience the latest home and lifestyle innovations of New South Wales top builders in the biggest display village outside of Sydney. There's floor plans and design options to suit a variety of budgets, including Australia's largest range of green smart homes. Experience tomorrow's living today at the new Central Coast Home Zone Display Village. Open 7 days, corner of Sparks and Warnervale Road, Warnervale. Take the Tukley exit on the F3.
It's time to get out of the bed rut. With up to $1,200 off Sealy and Sleepmaker at the Snooze Wake Up to Yourself sale. Now on.
It's Barbecues Galore Maitland's 14th birthday this weekend, and we're celebrating with a sizzling birthday sale. Down under Hood Barbecue, $100 off, great value at $3.99. Stainless steel grill station, $14.99, a roasting $500 off. Vegas 7-piece aluminium outdoor setting, unbelievable $3.49. Stunning Chicago 9-piece setting for a low $11.99, and umbrellas from $99. This weekend only at Barbecues Galore Maitland. Savings galore, barbecues galore.
Getting you into the right gear, Auto One.
The Auto One Performance Catalogue is out now with great savings. Auto Gauge 5-inch shift light taco, $269. North throw-over seat covers with bonus badge, $49.95 a pair. Top Gun Pro Racing Series 10mm ignition leads, 15% off. Sports Performance and lowered springs from $129 a pair, and stainless steel mufflers from $79.95.
Getting you into the right gear, Auto One.
Auto One, Newcastle, Cessnock and Muswellbrook.
Get ready for the social event of the year, the NJC Boxing Day Races, sponsored by J&M Spiro Demolition and Earth Moving Contractors. And this year, tickets are available from any Ticketek outlet. Boxing Day at beautiful Broadmeadow. Tickets on sale now.
If you're busy building a better life, Hunter United's Accelerate Home Loan can get you there faster. With a very competitive comparison rate of just 7.39% per annum, getting the home you want is child's play. Hunter United's Accelerate Home Loan. Call 49413 888.
Lake Macquarie Kayaks and Camping's grand opening sale. 20 to 40% off store-wide. Save on quality European adventure products and accessories by Lafuma and Millet. Store-wide sale 20 to 40% off. Lake Macquarie Kayaks and Camping Morisset. Everything you need for your next adventure.
Dimples are sweet, especially when they save you thousands. At Closters Hamilton, we've got a whole lot of cars with a little bit of hail damage, and that means genuine huge savings on literally hundreds of used cars, demonstrators, plus new cars from 10 top brands. The dimples on our cars are easily fixed, and the bargain's so big, you'll be laughing too. Closters Dimple Damage Hail Sale is on now only at Tudor Street, Hamilton.
Live on Nine's Wide World of Sports. And live in the rooms with Ricky Stewart and Jonathan Thurston. One of the stars of that first 40 minutes, 18 points to 4. The Kangaroos leading Great Britain. So if things remained as they are, it would be Australia versus New Zealand next Saturday night.
Tap on the shoulder there from Ricky Stewart, Jonathan Thurston. And a great mentor at this level for Jonathan Thurston as we go sideline with Matthew Johns.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. I'm down here with Sammy Thaiday. And Sam, good performance for the boys, but what about this tonight? You know, you're a Brisbane boy, must be proud of big crowds turned up.
There's always big crowds in Brisbane. All the Brisbane people here love footy, so it's good to see a lot of people turned out. There's a lot of Pommy people here too, though.
A lot of Pommy, so we'll get rid of them. Security, now, listen, today, you're a hero. The Aussies apparently went on a bit of a walk today, mate. You rescued them from a killer python in the park. Tell us about it.
Oh, we were going for a walk in the park, pretty much ritual kind of thing, and a snake came out of the bushes, was trying to attack the boys, so I kind of grabbed it and put it back in the bushes.
How big we talking?
Like 10 metres at least.
10 metres. That's incredible. Sam, you're a hero. We're proud of you. Good luck in the second half.
Thanks, mate.
Back to you, boys.
The reptile man, Sam Thaiday. An eventful warm-up or pre-match for the Aussies today, but down to business of the football. They've looked good. Great Britain, though. I still admire the comeback. 12-0 after 9 minutes.
Killer try, the one after they scored theirs. In the next set of 6 with Carmichael Hunt crashing across on the last tackle. It is a real downer for a team when points are conceded late in the tackle count. Darren Lockyer again making a walk he knows very well here at Suncorp.
Lockyer leads the Kangaroos out. Test for Darren Lockyer, and only Mal Meninga and Reg Gaznia ahead of him now on the all-time list. Still, are you still happy to live with that as a try to Great Britain for Danny Maguire? Watching the replay at half-time, it's hard to explain right now, but the physics of it all, both players had to contribute for the ball to go so far forward.
Well, it's all academic now, Andrew. It'll be in the paper tomorrow, so it's up on the board. And Great Britain for their effort. I think that they deserved that. Got a couple of very tough calls against them against the Kiwis in Wellington last week. But what a task they have this second half as Paul Simpkins gets us underway for this second 40.
And it is Paul Wellens kicking, and his first kick is a shocker. It's gone out on the full. Not by much, but enough to have a penalty centre of halfway. Catastrophic for the Lions to start the second half.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
But the distance on the kick, Gus, was neither here nor there. You're right, you're either going deep to the corner. He went over the sideline 25 metres down, 30 metres down.
The last two kicks have been great. Adrian Morley to start the end of this first half, as well as to start the second. Mark O'Mealy gets the first touch.
Massive leg up for the Kangaroos here. Lockyer, Thurston out wide, finds a straight runner, O'Donnell. Held by Maguire, 20 metres out. Berrigan comes across to centre field, floats it out there for Kite. He loses his legs in the tackle from Morley. 15 away. Lockyer, switch for Thurston. Thurston, inside there was Inglis. The crowd get to the edge of their seats when they see the 5, the yellow 5 on the back of the Australian jumper. O'Mealy wrap around there with Lockyer. That's too easy. The Kangaroos captain scores straight after half-time. I said a catastrophic kick to start the second half. It's now an absolute disaster.
In this move, the Kangaroos don't need any help. And that's exactly what Paul Wellens gave them. Instead of bringing the ball out from their own line, they had the football 30 out with a fresh set up their sleeves, a simple run around, too much feed for Keith Senior. Just a grabbing tackle on the outside. Again, another Bronco involvement there with Sean Berrigan. On to Darren Lockyer. He went around Mark O'Mealy. That's very simple, very soft, and the worst possible start for the visitors.
Well, I can't add any more. It's an amateurish start to the second half for Great Britain. They get a chance to do it again in a minute. He can have another shot from halfway with his kick-off. With Darren Lockyer, there really wasn't much on there. They'd run their big play at him with a crisscross and one up the middle. But from there, it was just simple catch and pass and the ability of a forward to keep them alive with a little run-around play. Lockier's speed, some laziness in the Great Britain defensive line. They're over again.
New Zealand got same sort of try last week against Great Britain in Wellington. At the same position on the field as well. On that right-hand side, Thurston looking for 4 out of 4, hits the post. He'll be dirty on that, 22-4, Ben Ikin's sideline.
Yeah, there's a couple of lessons for the kids in that try. Number 1 was do never, ever forget the wraparound. It still works, kids. Number 2 is carry the ball in 2 hands. The opposition don't know whether you're going to pass it, run it, dummy, kick, whatever, or slice into pieces. Jonathan Thurston there kicking for goal. Not happy with that one. 2 very good players in good touch, the 7 and the 6.
Wellens. He goes very conservatively down to centre. And then put down by Hodges. Well, that would have been handy 2.5 minutes ago.
Well, he kicked it right down the middle. He kept it away from both sidelines. There was no chance that going out on the full, and Hodges has come up with a fumble. Let's see if Great Britain can strike back.
A bit unusual start to the second half if they do. Here is Wellens with the ball, 3.5 into the second half. Scoreline of 22-4. Great Britain possession with Fielden. There was Kite coming up first again. Didn't quite get him that time. 15 from the line. Maguire showing the ball away. Lachlan links up there with Ellis. He's got some footwork as well. Nice offload under enormous pressure. Morley's tried to flick. It's on the deck. Maguire's got to it. That's play on. Then stripped of the ball.
Already held.
After the tackle had already been called held by Simpkins. I'm happy with that decision. Thurston possibly didn't hear the call. Quick tap, Maguire on for Morley, takes it to centre field. Tackled by Hindmarsh. 10 metres from the line. Great Britain with Roby. Head on for Fielden. There's Kite, ball and all again. 4 metres from the line now. Chance for Great Britain. Back with Maguire. Out for O'Loughlin. Looks to stand up. Thurston, good pass. Hodges had to make a great tackle on Gleeson. Price gets in the dummy half. They bring it back to centre field. Maguire playing a lot of first receiver here. Here's Ellis. No sign of the 7 at all. Richard Horn. It's Maguire who's steering them around. Roby dummy half. Little step, then intercept off the goal line. The Kangaroos defence. And they're back in possession.
Well, he threw it to Andrew Ryan. It was never going to hit his own player. Andrew Ryan couldn't believe it. Come off the line, just threw it to him. There it is. You take it.
Hunt. By the way, Richard Horn is still out there, but in an attacking position, he didn't get his hand on the ball. Thurston, and back with Kite. Kite got away from Ellis that time. Played really well tonight, Manly front rower. A little slow in playing at that time. Berrigan behind Marsh. Thurston looking dangerous right side. Lockyer out to Gaznia. Gaznier's got Tate outside. Puts the foot down. Down to Brent Tate. Great tackle on Tate by Gareth Rayner. Exciting rugby league, and Gareth Rayner, well, you pulled off a miracle.
Had he given it to Tate the first time and then backed up on the inside, it's a try. He backs away from him, so Gasnier takes the ball and runs, and that allows Great Britain to recover and come up with the grab. And Gareth Rayner did very, very well, showed exceptional speed. But had Gasnier passed to Tate the first time, Gasnier could have backed up on the inside and scored under the post.
Well, that's a huge effort from the man on screen there. Reminds me very much of Jason Robinson, who was a fine player for Great Britain on the wing and went on to a very distinguished rugby union career. The Lions forced back after the scrum win to their own 10-metre line.
It was awkward on Gleeson. It was Inglis. Now Great Britain under pressure, even though they have possession. Ellis has a little slip ball out the side.
See, they run one out coming out of trouble, so a centre like Hodges can just spear in and really focus on one player.
Morley made a ferocious charge then. Roby goes a little wider this time for Gilmore. Hit and spin.
That's where Great Britain have to play off. The quick play, the ball. They get them from Adrian Morley fairly consistently. That's when Horn and Maguire have to come into their own. It's a nice kick down into the corner. It'll force Greg Inglis to play at it.
Hunt pointed him to go centre field. He said, no, I'm going this way, and goes close to the sideline. Loses it in a two-man tackle.
There was a strip in the two-man tackle. Not great ball security, but it was played out by the Great Britain defender, and the law book says that that's unable to be done.
Interesting, Inglis to fullback, Hunt to the wing. These were the things I was worried about before Inglis played Origin earlier this year, coming back from fullback, a youngster like that. He does have a loose carry. If you want to get down there and have a little grope at the ball, he can cough one up for you. He's a brilliant talent, still got some rough edges to his game. But Hunt looks as though he's gone to the wing, and Inglis to fullback now.
And Berrigan on for Thurston. O'Mealy confronted there by Fielden. Lachlan another tackle. Lachlan 21 tackles is top with the Great Britain count tonight. A bending tackle on Kite. It was Peacock and Fielden. Not quite of the Kite on Fielden proportion to the first half. Here's Hindmarsh running back at Peacock. Gets over the 40. Kangaroos in possession and controlling the game at 22-4. Berrigan. Risky pass taken on the boot of Inglis. And Great Britain have possession. And happy to have it just inside their own half. Great Britain have decided to put Newton back out there. They've taken Roby off. Maguire got into dummy half on for Peacock. He's inside the 40. Strong defence, O'Mealy and Berrigan. Newton on for Fielden. Fielden ran up and, dare I say, there it is again. Kite waiting. Tupou ready for his first football of the night.
That's where Jonathan Thurston would have been taking the football forward. Lee Gilmore hitting a strong tackle. It's one play too late. The halves have to get in after the quick play the ball.
19 metres out from the line. Newton here for Horn. Dummy to Morley. Brings it to centre field. O'Mealy and Kite in defence. Last tackle. This is a big play for Great Britain. With Danny Maguire. He goes the low kick again. Got it through the legs of Thurston. And picked up by Hodges. Thurston's pass knocked down by Maguire. Play on Thurston. He's with it. Puts a little bunny hop in. And tackled outside the 10. Now Carmichael Hunt. Dumbing off out of dummy half. Hindmarsh is going off the field for the Kangaroos. That enables Tupou to come on. Now Gasnier. Almost back to the 30. Hindmarsh 27 tackles, only the 4 hit-ups. With it is O'Donnell. And there and O'Loughlin. Got away from him. Then Maguire. Getting involved with Fielden. 15 metres inside their own half. Lockyer kicks from inside the 40. But goes centre ground. And Wellens will go back for it. He's in goal. It's not going to go dead. Good luck, Paul Wellens. He brings it back. He does well. He gets to the 10-metre line. Hodges chased him down with Tupou. Tupou tried to make a double. Gareth Rayner, he's done a lot of this tonight. Jink and step and weave and run and now straighten. A lot of steps in a metre gain of 5 metres there. Peacock. A sign of him stopping. The final next Saturday night live on Channel 9. 7:30 for New South Wales and Victorian viewers. 6:30 for Queensland viewers. only place you'll see it live is on Channel 9. Kite's picked up the ball. Brett Kite for Hunt. Hunt's away. Put a foot on the sideline. No try. Put a foot on the sideline. 12 metres out. And Peacock, the Great Britain captain, it's his effort that has got him there.
Yeah, he's a very brave player, Jamie Peacock. Jonathan Thurston had the ball punched out of his hand earlier in this half. Well, he's done the same to the opposition tonight. There's some attention for Carmichael Hunt. Obviously a fairly nasty cut at the back. But Peacock, the big front rower, just enough of a touch and just the outside of the boot touching the chalk. The touchy got that one right.
Good on you, Touchy. No need to go to the video referee. Toe on the line's a toe on the line. Doesn't matter how many times you look at it. I thought Tate passed a little bit too early. He had a chance to draw the defence before pushing off. It looked as though Carmichael Hunt is going to leave the field. They can't stop the bleeding.
Well, he's got it on his jersey and on his arm. I think we're fine.
What about that? They're only green on the outside, not on the inside. It's all white on the inside.
It's called polyester, Gus.
How long have we had that?
For 10 years. Penalty here to the Great Britain side.
I don't own anything polyester.
By the way, that is the Australian touch judge who made the decision. Hunt's now topless, but it was Ben Cummins who made the decision. You got the Great Britain touchy on the other side, but Ben Cummins, crowd went up with a famous Old Lang Park chant here. It's one of their own who ruled and ruled correctly. Morley plays at 45 metres away from the Kangaroos line. Fielding's put it down. Double knock on.
Still, your jerseys were green on the inside, weren't they?
Can't remember that far back, I've got to say. And here's Carmichael Hunt getting redressed. And this is where he's picked up the clash of heads there with Lee Gilmore. He's a mature, tough player, Carmichael Hunt. It's hard to remind yourself that he's just 20 years of age. His rise has been rapid, but well deserved. And getting a little bit tasty out there as the scrums come together.
O'Mealy's ready, believe me. Got a few tough hombres opposite him though. Fielden, Newton, Morley. They could all be bouncers. Here's Tate. Taken their low down by John Wilkin. All these runs off the bench have come in the second halves. Wasn't seen in football early. John Wilkin. Donald copped a shot, and after he played it, he got up looking rather menacing.
Well, he was chasing the wrong way. Adrian Morley got him a little bit high. He went to the other side.
Berrigan, Thurston, inside for Ryan. Good tackle on Ryan by Gilmore. 40 metres away from the line. Lockyer. And now for Hodges. He's inside the 40, loses it. Appeared to go forward there to Berrigan. Allowed to play on, last tackle. And Hodges gets into dummy half. Now Thurston kicks back in field. Gasnier was there. Lockyer jumped early like a ballerina. Now it comes for Leon Price. Price is with the ball. Gets over the 30. And Hunt makes the tackle. And then makes the second tackle. We'll take a break. Test Match Rugby League on 9.
Ready for a new look? Then you're ready to celebrate the new look 40 weeks with up to $1,000 off our great range. There's never been a better time to buy bedding. Up to $1,000 off. Only at the new look 40 weeks, where dreams begin. End Sunday.
Get into Gas World this week and save on Makita Power Tools. Save an extra 10% off our already discounted prices. Many tools are below cost. But hurry, stocks won't last. Only at Gas World. Sale ends Sunday.
Live on Channel 9, Test Match Rugby League and Great Britain, back-to-back penalties. The second one just inside the Kangaroos half has them here now, 25 metres out. Peacock. Plenty of time left, 25 and a half minutes remaining. It is 22-4. Newton. And then Wilkin. And there at Lockyer. And Tupou. Now 15 away. Slow play the ball. Newton comes across. Gets it for Maguire. Out it comes for Horn. Horn just slowed it up to pass. Hock was the man on the end of that. And a quick play to ball, 12 metres out, Newton. Switch back to centre field, Richard Horn. Then for Fielden, he keeps it alive, over the top. On the bounce to Gilmore. Gilmore's with it, gets it out in front of Price.
Well, they lost ground with the ball. Now, while we're in the break there, O'Donnell and Morley came to grips in the middle of the field. A little bit of a swinging arm there from O'Donnell as Morley was hitting the ground, a cheap shot.
It was a get square. Adrian Morley shapes to throw the football, but then a little smile. I think he knows that it was a get square as well, because he did go high only moments earlier.
Tupou, or rather Inglis, was twisted around in that tackle. Tate back for Inglis. He likes this centre ground, Greg Inglis. He'll play it 41 metres away from the Kangaroos line. They look a little tight here. Great Britain struggling to get onside. Berrigan helped himself to another 10. Now Tate, Thurston. Look at the runners queuing up. Carmichael Hunt. That time they were waiting, but Kangaroos have made a lot of ground in this set. Up to tackle number 4. Berrigan, Thurston. Then for O'Donnell. O'Donnell on the charge. Takes on Wellens. Last line of defence is there for Great Britain. Last tackle as well now. Thurston, overlap, Lockyer, tries a kick. Ricochet on the deck, play on. Gazier's with it, can't pass. Now tried to pass and scooped up by Morley. Moz was back there.
They've dodged a bullet there, Great Britain, but have a look at them bunched here behind the line. Very few players chalking it up, looking for a chance to hit it up. As Andrew said, out on their feet at the moment.
And that was a lock forward who made the bust, and a strong bust from Luke O'Donnell, but I'm yet to see Paul Wellens make an error in this series. Nice one-on-one tackle there to deny the back rower. Matty Johns.
Well, Serlo, I think Great Britain, I mean, it's all or nothing for them with over 20 minutes to go. They've really got to chase points here. I'd put Leon Price into 5'8", and Denny Maguire to halfback. Maybe even switch Horn back to fullback. They've got to get proactive. They've got to make things happen.
Now back to Senior. Then Newton. Newton fanned. Oh, trouble almost into the arms of Hodges. Play on now for Peacock. Tackle count restarts. Peacock stretches out. That play on off the boot of Maguire. Scooped up now by Price. That's knocked back. Play on again. Gilmore's with the ball. Now they steady down. Almost a hand pass back to Gleeson. And Great Britain still in possession with Morley.
That's how they play. They stand around, just give it to the bloke alongside of him. He stands still, has a look, bit of a jog, gives it to the bloke alongside of him, and they hope something breaks for them in front.
Horn, 41 metres out. He has played on the wing in test matches. Here's a penalty. They're in the ruck for just a little bump more or less. Andrew Ryan unhappy.
They can't complain about the penalty count, Great Britain. It's 10-5. They got the rub of the green last week against New Zealand. It did them no good there. But they're getting every opportunity to come down and try and put points on now.
Newton with Horn and Peacock. He's been great again for them tonight, the captain of the Lions. Gee, he works hard and he's skillful as well. They attack down the left. Gareth Hock. Great pass for Senior. Senior will score for Great Britain. And Gareth Hock, first time in Test football in this series. Superb. 22-8.
There is more to this story than just a dead cockroach. What about the germs they carry? Only Baygon Germ Kill has the power to kill cockroaches and the antibacterial power to kill the germs they carry. Now that's the whole story. New Baygon Germ Kill kills insects and the germs they carry. Also available in fly spray. The power is yours.
22 points to 8 here at Suncorp Stadium. Big crowd. Great Britain, they still think they're in it, and they are, if they can come up with another one.
There's plenty of time, Andrew. We've still got a quarter of this test match to go, and there are a number of Australian clubs who would accommodate the back row of this Great Britain lineup. O'Loughlin, Ellis and Hock. I think they've enhanced their reputations out here in a side that I don't think will make the final, but are close enough, if good enough. Paul Wellens now stepping up, and he's successful.
Wellens gets it. It's 22-10. It's 2 converted tries. Matthew Johns.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the back row. Gareth Hock's a tremendous young player. Of course, he plays for the Wigan club in the UK, and I can tell you he's a real tough kid. The area he comes from in Wigan, I mean, you just don't walk down there at night, unless, of course, you're Charles Bronson or Gareth Hock.
Gone back a bit. Charles Bronson getting a run tonight. Be 80 now, wouldn't he? Is he still alive? Here's Lockyer, restarting play. Fielded right on the goal line by Wellens. Morley's loving the contest. He'd love it if they get another one, though. 11 metres out from their own line. And Rayner on the charge. I'm with Matty about getting Leon Price in nice and close. Here is Gilmore. And it would appear he may be right in the thick of it now, Leon Price.
And not as a ball player, Andrew, just getting trailing in. The drover's dog waiting for something to happen up front. He's a finisher, but he's got to get the football to do so.
Got hurt in the previous tackle as well. As Peacock makes another 15 metres. He's still in trouble, Leon Price. As Great Britain come to centre field. Maguire out for Horn. Wrap around there with Wilkin, looking lively out wide. Hock again. This time Ryan there to prevent the offload. Price still back behind play. Great Britain 30 metres from the line. And they go high with Horn, and very high. This one will come down almost on the crossbar. Inglis as cool as you like. Will play it 5 metres out from the line. Great kick from Horn. Now with Hodges.
Well, unfortunately, one of his quickest chasers on the outside, Leon Price, is doing it very tough out there at the moment. Moving around, finding it difficult to run it out. He's missed that tackle now and will limp back out onto his wing. So one of their strike weapons, who hasn't seen much football tonight, may not see much more.
Smith on for Kafusi. By the way, Brisbane and Queensland League fans to be congratulated tonight. The crowd over 44,000 as Australia attack out to the right. Tate, good tackle, almost forward to Gaznia. Steps back to centre field and then loses it. That wasn't stripped. That's play on for Rayner. Just good defence. Then on for Wilkin. Crowd, though, is 44,358.
Price has left the field.
Highest test match crowd in Australia since 1974. How good's that? Price off the field. Great Britain, 25 metres from the line.
Work off the back of this man.
Tremendous attendance. And as much as they want the Kangaroos to win, they'd like an exciting finish as well. They might get it. Senior kept alive. Peacock now. Support him. 5 metres from the line. And tackled by O'Donnell. Still 17 minutes remaining. Newton. Maguire, cut-out ball. Gleeson looked for a quick bat on. It was terrible. It was an abomination. It was almost stuck to his hands.
It was only fourth tackle.
Hodges comes back. Hindmarsh will be changed number 9 for the night.
Australia haven't rammed home the advantage they got early in this game. They were out to a 12-0 lead very, very early. Since that time, both sides have scored 10 points each. And whilst Great Britain have looked out on their feet, they've done well to guts it out. And the Aussies haven't rammed home the advantage. 16 minutes left on the clock. You can't write them off, but hard to expect them to come from behind Australia and beat them.
Dummy by Thurston, almost destructive again. You'd have to think Price won't be coming back. The socks, the boots are off. Now with Smith kicking just short of halfway.
Kicked it right-footed.
Yeah.
Wellens on his own goal line.
And a good one too. There was plenty of pressure going through on Darren Lockyer as well. And gets rid of one, can't beat the second. That was Hodges.
First man was Smith chasing that kick.
That's real talent, you know, a left-footed dummy half like that, to realise the pressure on Lockyer and then jump out to the right and kick with his right foot and put such an accurate one in. He's obviously practiced it.
Here's Wilkin, he offloaded. Cameron Smith, LEM medal winner this year. Beaten grand finalist. Wilkin out for Hock. Dummy on the outside to Rayner, still alive, got it back for Newton. He's got Rayner on his outside. Look at Terry Newton. Now for Rayner. Inside the 20. Inglis did great and a knock-on right at the finish. Oh, the anguish for Great Britain and their fans. They thought that was it.
Just a little rush of blood there at the end of it. They did so well. Down the left-hand side of the field. Again, the 11, Gareth Hock with the offload to Newton, the dummy. He'll turn it back on the inside to Rayner. And just the panic pass at the end to Senior, who was already in front of him, diffuses the opportunity for Great Britain. But Gareth Hock with the one-arm offload, very dangerous down that left-hand side.
Hodges hit over the top by Ellis and Wilkin, who's had some nice touches since coming on.
Now Australia are bunched, look at them.
14 remaining, live on Channel 9. Carmichael Hunt, he's got a Vaseline on the head cut. That's that patch on the left side of his noggin. Back to the 40. Will be played by Kafusi. Tate to centre field, Hindmarsh. Thrown down there by Peacock, right on halfway. Cameron Smith, Thurston. Kicks for the corner, came off the outside, he'll find the line. 12 metres out from the Great Britain goal line.
Smart kick. Just said they look very tight in that centre six. Australia, they were bunched. And the halfback realising it, gives his troops a rest, talks them up, puts it over the sideline, lets them walk to the scrum and taking some rest. Great Britain trying to get time off here to keep time on the clock. They haven't given up.
Good to see Jonathan Thurston there barking at the troops.
In.
This game is not won. And it was a fine kick. Clock is in their favour as Gleeson tries to run into a hole.
And Maguire gets across to dummy half. Senior getting back onside, walks straight across in front where the ball was being played. Got between the markers and the man playing it. With Peacock. Ben Eichen, sideline.
You boys are right up there. The body language of the Aussies the last couple of sets hasn't been great. The Pommies, on the other hand, they're slapping each other on the back. They want to win this one. Now, don't forget, they're only 12 points out of it, which is 2 converted tries. And a draw will be good enough to see them into the final.
Yeah, very good point, Ben. A draw is good enough tonight. If Great Britain were to score again a converted try, the New Zealand fans and players and coach McLennan will become awfully nervous. Here's Gleeson. This is the last tackle. Gleeson's kicked downfield. Newton's offside by 15 metres. He doesn't become involved in the play until Inglis had run his 10. Now Carmichael Hunt gets outside the 40 for the Kangaroos. Hodges. Sivanasiva up there at Ellis.
I think we're going to put Carmichael Hunt back to fullback. We've lost something in our attack since Inglis has gone back there. Inglis is a great attacking player, but he doesn't have the combination with Lockyer, and Lockyer was virtually just forced to pass to his decoy runners with the centres outside him rather than having Carmichael Hunt as the second option. There he is out on the wing waving for the ball on tackle 5. He needs to be in there with his captain screaming.
Hindmarsh held 30 metres from the Great Britain line, and this is a last tackle play. Lockyer's signalled he's going to kick out to the side of Carmichael Hunt here. Here he is, Lockyer. He's going to pass it out to them. Thurston now kicks. Hodges will chase through. So too Hunt, and Gilmore's able to watch it go dead. Everyone's still on the edge at 22 to 10. 11 minutes remaining.
And it's great. Who were looking for the quick restart there?
Yeah, look at this bloke Morley, Peter. Here's a player who has really shown the benefit of being in Australia for the last half a dozen seasons. He is a cut above his own countrymen, and a lot of these young players in their side would improve if they came here too.
Like this bloke, Hock. That's a marvellous pass from Hock. Got it around the corner somehow to Ellis. That wasn't so good, I've got to say, away for Tupou. Hock's ball was miraculous. Smith now with it. Picked up by Gleeson.
Time to put him to sleep. Darren Lockyer's got to be thinking putting this side to sleep. Carmichael Hunt's gone back to fullback. Immediately gets to where Lockyer is in the back line.
Sivanasiva lost his legs in that tackle. Smith, Lockyer, Huck's there. Here he is straight away. Lockyer was levelled by Gareth Hock. Wellens comes up with a ball, gets back to the field of play, got a lot of protection. Mind you, Tate hopped on the wrong tram.
They ran shotgun for him. Keith Senior there made it very difficult for Brent Tate to make the tackle. What's the two? Sandwiched.
So Great Britain possession inside the final 10 now at 22 points to 10. They scored the last 2 tries a fortnight ago to wrap it up. Here they go down the left side. Gareth Hock's with it again. And even a juggle that time as he was tackled by Lockyer. It'll be Sir Gareth after tonight if he gets them out of this. It's so dangerous down the left side. Played by Roach. Here is Maguire. Dummy and got past Tupou. Just floats it out. No chance for Gilmore.
That was bad luck. That was real bad luck. Nice play from Maguire. Peter, that was a real chance, wasn't it?
Yeah, the initial reaction here to throw the dummy with the defender up in his face was ideal, and the cutout pass. He knew with that defender rushing up, the other defenders would have come in. There had to be space on the outside. The winger had gone back.
That was bad luck.
The time now really becoming an enemy for Great Britain. They've thrown plenty at the Australians. You just think that this last 10 minutes that the Australians, with a good lead, should know how to close it down and even find some points to put the final nail in the coffin.
I think Lockyer's got to be thinking, put him to sleep.
Hindmarsh, Thurston, Inglis, centre field. Horn was there with Roby and Wilkin. 5 metres inside the Great Britain half. They run straight this time with Ryan. That gets them a little closer. Lockyer can kick them from long range as well. Here he is, 35 metres out. Passes out, Kafusi, quick hands, Thurston, Tupou. Unloads for Hodges. He comes back in field. Tries to stand up Peacock. Last tackle. Thurston can also nail them, don't worry about that. Lockyer, though, gets in position. Lockyer's with it. Here goes the shot. Darren Lockyer, the King of Brisbane. The King of Brisbane has done it. You may as well call him the King of Queensland. Sorry to Wally Lewis. A break on Channel 9 at 23 to 10.
Until Wednesday, Target has women's dresses from $39.99. Excludes designers for Target range. Hurry, the dresses won't last.
Julie's Total Tools Makita Holden Crewman 50 grand giveaway. Mighty Makita 305mm slide compound saw with a free circular saw and a free planer. Did you say a free circular saw and a free planer? What? $999? You could be our lucky winner. Only at Julie's Total Tools.
Suncorp Stadium, over 44,000 fans tonight. Great Britain tried the short kick-off. Came unstuck and the Kangaroos in possession.
And the necessary breathing space now, courtesy of that one-pointer. Great shot from behind of Darren Lockyer putting over the field goal. I'm not sure if New Zealand, sitting back watching this, have seen too much to fear next week. We talk about the Australian performance as Cameron Smith is happy to find touch. They got away to a flyer, 12-0 in the first 10 minutes. But just the very fact that Great Britain forced them to kick a field goal to wrap this match up, I think the Kiwis will be looking forward to next weekend, feeling that they can put Tri-Nations back to back.
I was talking to their coach, Brian McLennan, at the airport, Sydney Airport today. He and his assistant coach, Tony Iro, said that the New Zealand side had trained very strongly this week. They were anticipating and hoping that Australia would win tonight and play them into the final. They're all in camp down in Sydney watching this game tonight. It'll be a repeat of last year's final that they won 24-0 over there in England. That's game on.
I honestly believe, Gus, I don't think there would have been a lot of hope. I know that they would have said that, but I'm sure they would have expected to be playing Australia next week. They will have prepared that way. I don't think tonight even entered their psyche. They'll have thought, we're in the final. The Aussies will do the right thing. We expect a good performance from them, a win from them, and we'll be playing them.
Well, McLennan and Iro were coming up here to watch the game live. They're here in the crowd just to have a look at the whole thing rather than just the television coverage. Yeah, and they said they've trained good. They've trained really good. Played good last week too.
Last tackle, Maguire kicks back across. Inglis has got this covered. Inglis on the full. He was collared. He almost lost the collar on the jumper. There wasn't a whole lot to it. Carmichael Hunt, by the way, the jumper, the bloodied jumper of Carmichael Hunt is lying in the dressing room. I'll teach Gus after the match how they make the modern-day jumper. But they're all white to begin with, and they just stamp the print on them, Gus.
Yeah, polyester. Well, I think I'd rather be wearing cotton. I like the cotton, the coolness of cotton.
Kangaroos behind in the penalty count tonight, 10-6. Wonderful crowd and quite a match tonight. It was 12-0 after 9 minutes. Since that time, you could say 11-10. Somehow Leon Price, they've worked a miracle and got him back out there. Kafusi, good pass for Hunt.
Well, it's too late. He was needed 10 minutes ago, Leon Price. Not now when they trail by 2 men. Here's Gaznia, almost straight up the middle, but wonderful tackle from Raby. Quick play the ball, Thurston.
On to Tupou. Anthony Tupou's over. A try at Test football for the young rooster. 27-10. That's a wonderful moment for this young fella.
It is so often Anthony Tupou throwing the nice ball. Wonderful ability at attracting defenders and offloading in traffic. But for his try tonight, he's run into a gap opened up by the number 7. Thurston has been tremendous going to the line. Cameron Smith threw it to Thurston with space. Hold, gets thumped late, but if you're a ball player, you've got to expect that. You attract the defender right to the death, then you deliver. And if you're good enough, that's what the result will be.
It's just the ability to slow down, knowing he's got 2 players outside, holds the ball in front, will shape long, and then hold it up and pass short. And that leaves the 16, Lee Gilmore, in no man's land. He's covering the winger on the outside, and it's the ability of the halfback to hold it up, threaten to pass long, and then with soft hands just pop it up for Tupou to run into the hole. Well done, Anthony. Rooster boy.
This result tonight will see Great Britain finish 3rd again, as they did last year. They came here with high hopes, and I've got to say, Bossy, had a lot of things go their way on this tour. The fact that New Zealand were docked 2 competition points for a win. They had a win over Australia. If they were ever going to move through to be one of the top 2, this was where they had some things that worked out in their favour.
The only thing I'll say against them is 4 straight weeks of it. The other teams have had the break. Thurston's kick, 23 metres out. He's getting a lot of swing on him tonight. Gets that one over. Matthew John sideline at 29-10.
Yeah, Bossy's on fire tonight, Jonathan Thurston. A great game. Now, I want to wage back into the jersey to make look on Cotton. Look, Gus, look at Breeze, and it might be a natural fibre, but the stuff shrieks, and it gathers a lot of moisture over 80 minutes. Polyester, on the other hand, it's light, it's cool, it holds shape. I've wore both, boys. Give me polyester.
There you go. Wellens, he goes short. It's knocked down, and that will be a knock-on against the Kangaroos. Right, a reply. Last say, Gus Gould.
I'm a Cotton man. I'm a Cotton man. Good work, Jonathan Thurston. I was very critical of the selection policy that left him out of Australia's last game against Great Britain, which they lost. But the 7, to my mind, has been the difference, or a lot of the difference, in this Australian team tonight. He's been superb.
Right, got it inside there for Gleeson.
Good tackle, though, from Tupou.
Wellens able to offload. Roby with it. Players offside. Great Britain will take the quick tap with Wellens. Got to the mark, or somewhere thereabouts. Was allowed to continue. Gleeson with it. He's 15 metres from the line. Hodges takes him down. 12 metres away from the line. 29-10. Leon Price. Not the most flash re-entry to the game. Going to dummy half and losing the ball. He's there again. Scoops it up for Maguire. Fires it out. Defence came up quickly. Gaznia, great stuff. Great Britain 15 metres from the Kangaroos goal line. Gareth Hock. Peacock. Hit by Kafusi. Kept alive for Maguire. Then it goes on the fingertips of Price. And tackled well by Hodges. 30 seconds remain. inside the final 30 seconds of the Great Britain campaign. Peacock close to the line, their captain. He's been the best on tour, Jamie Peacock. Last tackle and last play of the test. Roby, Horn, out for Wellens, out for Senior, batted along, Rayner with it, he comes centre field, Gareth Rayner with the ball, points, now he kicks, knocked down by Thurston, picked up by Hindmarsh, he doesn't want game over, Smith away to Lockyer, what about this? Lockyer back for Hunt, Hunt will kick downfield, Tate's getting through, Tate will pick it up, he's inside the 20, Brent Tate for the corner, oh my goodness, oh what about that, what the hell was that, that may be one of the most incredible tries you have ever seen. The 81st minute of play. It started with razzle-dazzle from Great Britain. It's been finished by Brent Tate. That is absolutely amazing.
Well, the crowd love it. They are on their feet. Just the finish that they desired. And the Australian team are a perfect advertisement for playing the full 80 minutes. That time they went a little bit longer. Willie Mason on the sideline, through suspension. We'll be back next week. It's Pats all around. Maybe not as easy as the scoreboard will say. And Great Britain, to their credit, were still trying in the final minute. Hindmarsh offloads to Smith. Darren Lockyer back inside to Carmichael Hunt. There are 5 Great Britain defenders back there, but none wide enough to cope with Brent Tate. The wing keel guiding him over on the sideline. And what an effort also from Gareth Ellis, the second rower, to get back there in a despairing dive to try and deny the try scorer.
How on earth did they manufacture that? Tate on the finish, almost exhausted, too exhausted to celebrate it. What a finish, and what a treat for this crowd of just under 45,000. They have witnessed one of the more remarkable tries they'll ever see at any level. Because before the Rayner kick, there's probably 7 or 8 passes from Great Britain.
That's right, they were looking to put something on. And now Jonathan Thurston. There is an air of expectation around this ground still about this goal kick. He's already kicked 4 from 5, a couple from the sideline. The crowd, and it's still a big crowd left, are willing this through the posts.
33 to 10, Thurston again, oh, just misses. No one wants to go home. 33 to 10. It will be Australia to play New Zealand in the final next Saturday night, and we will have it live on Channel 9.
What a nice touch there. Jonathan Thurston shaking hands with the ball boy as the two sides come together. Plenty of mutual respect out there. Great Britain will go home, not in the final. Australia looking to reverse last year's result next week. Ben Eichen is down amongst it.
Down here with Carmichael Hunt. Kay, you got to tell me, that last try, set move or not?
No set move. Obviously, we got a good turnover down the other end, and Heine I thought he was going to lie down with the ball, but he continued to run, and we just did it from there.
Now, you personally, the head clash, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, mate. Just cut, so a bit of blood, that's it.
Now, you started the game at fullback, obviously, but in the second half you moved to the wing. Was that always a planned move?
Oh, well, we've been working with that over the last couple of games. Obviously, Greg is an awesome player at the back as well, so it's just Sticky sees fit that we get a bit of time both at the back so we can keep him guessing, so it's a good tactic.
The Kiwis next week, they were awesome last week against the Pommies. What are you thinking at the moment?
Mate, they're going to be dangerous. Obviously, they've got 3 more days preparation than us, so we're going to have to get into next week and train really hard and play hard next week as well.
Good on you, mate. Great effort tonight. Over to you, Matty Johns.
Yeah, thanks, Benny, and great game, Carmichael Hunt. Joined by Adrian Morley, and Moz, probably the first 10 minutes really hurt you, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. We didn't start great, and you can't give a side Australia a 12-point start and expect to win, but I thought after the initial 10 minutes we got into it and we competed pretty well, but the damage was done.
Now, what did you think of your game in general, your last game in Australia, Moz?
Hopefully there'll be a few more, but no, disappointing way to finish, but I've had a great time, and the crowd tonight was great. Disappointing, but I enjoyed it still.
What do you miss about Australia, Moz?
Oh, the weather and the beaches.
I say Blackpool's quite good.
That's not bad at all.
As well, just on behalf of everyone in Rugby League, just want to say, loved your time here and well done, mate. You did a great one on your ball rate. Well done. Over to you, Benny.
Yeah, thanks, Benny. Well, I'm here with Mark Gasnier, and mate, I have to say you look like you're enjoying yourself out there tonight.
Yeah, it was good. I think we really got a bit of a boost from last week. We didn't play the way we wanted, and we really want a redemption. Although patches, I thought were really scrappy, and Ricky probably won't be too happy with it, but we'll take a little bit of form into next week.
Now, the crowd tonight, in excess of 40,000 fans turned up. That must have been great.
It's unreal, The crowd up here, they're so nice. When you got a green and gold jersey on anyway, I think when you got a sky blue on, it's a bit different. But they love their rugby league and they're really passionate and it's great to play in front of.
Now, the Kiwis were great last week against the Pommies. What are you thinking at the moment?
Just a very tough match. We can only prepare the way we did. You saw what happened last year, and we can't take anything for granted. And we've just got to prepare well like we did this week, and see how we go.
Now, it's a young side, but everything seems to be coming together at the right time.
Hopefully, Benny. I think it showed some good signs tonight, but we also showed some bad signs. So, as I said, we can only work on it through the week, and hopefully we improve.
Well, Gaz, congrats on tonight. You go and enjoy the evening. Back up to you, Vossi.
Thank you, Ben, and well done to Matthew Johns on ground. Well, there's still plenty to get through tonight. It will be Australia playing New Zealand next week. 6 tries to 2 tonight, 33 points to 10. Look, we've got to watch that try back again after the break. I know that. We have to have a look at that final try in full.
It was a wonderful flurry at the end there, but a realistic appraisal there from a couple of the Australian players, Mark Gasnier especially, knowing that there were some good things done tonight, but patches where they weren't at their best, going into a final that will be fiercely contested, they'll need to be better in those patches and eradicate them. So a little bit of work to be done and some interesting decisions to be made by Ricky Stewart as to which 17 he will ultimately go with.
And some of the players exchanging jumpers. Carmichael Hunt's got his third for the night. It's now the number 1 of Great Britain. We will take a break. We'll show you that last try after it and all the big plays and the Channel 9 man of the match. All the news from the dressing rooms. A night where Australia has defeated Great Britain live on Channel 9 Test Match Rugby League by 33 to 10.
Choose Nokia 1100. Nothing up front with up to $29 of calls a month, plus a bonus gift. A Navman Navigator worth $449.
I'm sold.
Call 13 34 44. Choose Nokia 6131. Nothing up front on a $22 plan and get a bonus gift. An MP4 player worth $219.
I'm sold.
Call 13 34 44.
Everyone's a winner on eBay.com.au this Christmas. It's fun. And you get the chance to win one of 3 dream holidays. You can choose from tropical Fiji, the exotic Cook Islands, or adventurous Central America. Plus, there are heaps of other great prizes you could win with every purchase on eBay.com.au. Buy more and you could win more. Yes! So come on, spread the joy!
eBay.com.au.
They chose the right home, but did they choose the right home loan? Same loan amount, same loan term. Their standard home loan variable comparison rate is an average 8.2% per annum. Their members' Equity Bank standard home loan variable comparison rate is a lower 7.49% per annum. They pay no application or ongoing monthly fees. Over the full term of the loan, they could save up to $21,000. So if you're a member of an eligible super fund, and over 5 million Australians are, talk to Members Equity Bank. Call 13 15 63 or visit our website.
Welcome to the brand new Hunter Homeland. 7 leading new home builders, 12 stunning new home designs, ideal for our Hunter lifestyle. You'll find the very latest new home concepts, inside and out. Fabulous 1- and 2-story designs and up-to-the-minute expert advice to help you find your perfect home. Visit the brand new Hunter Homeland now on Minmay Road, Fletcher, opposite Bishop Tyrrell College, and build better in the Hunter.
When it comes to the great Aussie lawn, are you losing your edge? Can't cut it anymore? Are your edges out of control? Don't give up. Get even with an Adam Lawn Edger. Lightweight Adam edges are easily manoeuvred around tight curves, along fences, and in confined spaces. And Adam's 4-blade cutting system really gives you the perfect edge. Adam lawn edges outperform all others. Available from specialist lawnmower dealers. Give your lawn the edge. Let an Adam.
Choose Nokia 6131. Nothing up front on a $22 plan and get a bonus gift. An MP4 player worth $219.
I'm sold.
Call 13 34 44.
Terrifying. Immoral. Voyeuristic. On 60 Minutes, the most shocking movie of the year.
It's sink or swim now.
When you see what happens on The Bridge, it will haunt you for the rest of your life. Also, Born to Run. Tara Brown, in the middle of the most spectacular animal migration on Earth.
Toyota presents 60 Minutes, Sunday on NBN.
Welcome back on Channel 9, post-match here, the 6th game of the Tri-Nation Series, and what a finish to it. Australia defeating Great Britain by 33-10. The Australian players still doing their lap of honour, and Matthew Johns is with them with our man of the match.
Yeah, welcome back to Channel 9's Test Match Football. I'm joined by Jonathan Thurston, who has been judged the Channel 9 man of the match. John, bit of a walk around. They go great atmosphere tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's always fun playing here. You know, they turn out in thousands, and it was a good effort in the end.
What about yourself? Your game tonight took the line a lot more, getting over that advantage line. Is this something you worked on the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, it's something Bellyache spoke to me about during the week, is take the line on a bit more. So that's what I'm good at. So our forwards were real good in the first 20 and laid the platform for us.
It's going to be a big game next week. I mean, the Kiwis have got a week off. They're going to freshen up. It's going to be a big ask.
It is. They're a good side, and we're going to have to play for the full 80 minutes if we're going to win the game.
John, on behalf of everyone, well done. You're our man of the match tonight, and good luck for next week.
Thanks everyone.
Back to you boys upstairs.
Superb game from Jonathan Thurston, the Cowboys halfback, Queensland halfback, and tonight the Australian halfback, and with plenty of fans in the crowd. A wonderful performance. He's definitely the number 7 for the final after he was controversially left out of their last match. But what a game, Sirley, from JT.
Yeah, he's going to maturity, isn't he, Jonathan Thurston? Must relish playing inside Darren Lockyer, who I think would make any number 7 look very, very good. But Thurston is a wonderful player in his own right. And there is a changing of the guard with Andrew Johns now not available for selection. And we've had a lot of players come through and put their hand up, but none higher than Jonathan Thurston. And he looks like, if he's keen to, he could be the number 7 for Australia for many years to come.
Gus, your thoughts on the game tonight of Jonathan Thurston?
Well, I was calling for Jonathan Thurston last time. I couldn't believe he was left out of the Sydney Test match, and he proved it tonight. He's the man of the match performance. I thought he was the difference in what Australia showed in attack between that game and this one. The fact that he probes around the middle of the field and then selectively goes to Lockyer when there's more space. Just hitting it up and then getting someone to transfer the ball to Lockyer was very predictable in that game down at Aussie Stadium tonight. Thurston and Cameron Smith too, getting more time in the middle at dummy half, playing his own natural game. Really prized open Great Britain around the rucks where the Kiwis got them last week, and that laid the platform. I thought the Kiwis were very good last week. Two completely different types of football teams, them and Australia. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, well, we've got a lot to get through in the post-match, but just on that, Sterling, from what you saw last week, Great Britain better than they were last week, but who's better, the New Zealand performance or the Australian performance tonight?
Well, that's very difficult to sum up. Look, I think New Zealand would be very, very happy with their showing last week. I thought they blew the opposition off the park early on. It looked like the same was going to happen tonight. Australia were fantastic for the first 10 minutes, but I don't think that Ricky Stewart will be close to being fully satisfied with what he saw. And the very fact that they didn't have this game wrapped up earlier than they did and were forced to take 1 point, which is not really in our psyche, not really in the game plan for Australia to have to wrap it up that way, that's a little bit of a worry. I don't think New Zealand sitting back have learnt too much tonight that they didn't know, and I don't think that their confidence would be too sapped by what they've seen tonight. They'll be confident.
We'll have more of the post-mortem after the break, and also that miracle try to finish. We have seen a miracle. The last try was absolutely incredible. We'll show it to you again after this break. Test Match Rugby League on Channel 9.
Has a sharp price for Motorola Razr. Nothing up front. Up to $49 a calls a month. Fully featured with MP3 and Bluetooth headset. I'm sold.
Call 13 34 44. Choose Nokia 1100. Nothing up front with up to $29 of calls a month, plus a bonus gift. A Navman Navigator worth $449.
I'm sold.
Call 13 34 44.
The best car Australia has ever produced. The steering and ride are as good or better than any current BMW.
Its current competitors look old school.
The best sedan in the world for the price. The reviews have been glowing. All new rear-wheel drive Holden Commodore. Go like never before.
Right now, Kitchen Connection is offering 100% style for 50% off. That's 50% off kitchen cabinets and a free flip-down LCD TV. Hurry to Kitchen Connection, where it all comes together.
It's back and bigger than ever. The Sharp Electronics Office National Hunter Golf Charity Day in association with NBN Television. Monday, November 27, be at the spectacular Belmont Golf Course for a fantastic day of golf, followed by a presentation dinner and entertainment in the evening. Proceeds from the day support Hunter Surf Lifesaving and the Westpac Rescue Helicopter Service. Get your team together and register now at participating pro shops.
Some boat dealers try to sell you the dream. Other boat dealers sell you the price. But at Jim Nicol Honda Marine Blacksmiths, they just want to sell you a quality boat that is right for you at a price that is hard to beat. They believe that the purchase of your boat is just the beginning of a relationship with you throughout your boating life. Distributing quality brands like Evinrude E-Tech, Tabs, Crownline, Honda and more means you get a full range and style to choose from. Drop in and have a chat with one of the Nichols boys today. They're all style without the glitz. Jim Nicol Honda Marine, Pacific Highway Blacksmiths.
Getting you into the right gear, Auto One.
The Auto One outdoor catalogue is out now with great savings. WTD 12-volt 4x4 air compressor, $59.95. Shell Helix Super 6 litre, $17.95. 8-piece LED camping lantern, $12.95. Projector power inverter, 300-watt, $89.95. 600-watt, $149. And Just Straps 4-wheel drive weekender pack, $89.95.
Getting you into the right gear, Auto One.
Auto One, Newcastle, Cessnock and Muswellbrook.
Welcome to the brand new Hunter Homeland. 7 leading new home builders, 12 stunning new home designs, ideal for our Hunter lifestyle. You'll find the very latest new home concepts, inside and out. Fabulous 1- and 2-story designs and up-to-the-minute expert advice to help you find your perfect home. Visit the brand new Hunter Homeland now on Minmay Road, Fletcher, opposite Bishop Tyrrell College, and build better in the Hunter.
Choose Nokia 1100. Nothing up front with up to $29 of calls a month, plus a bonus gift. A Navman Navigator worth $449.
I'm sold.
Call 13 34 44.
It's been a feature of the Tri-Nations right throughout the 6 matches so far. Some of the hits, some of the defensive work. There was plenty on show again tonight. There'll be plenty more on show next week when you watch it live, the final of the Tri-Nations when Australia take on New Zealand. But a big, big night here, and Australia winners by 33 points to 10. Now, Keith Senior, post full time, made a very special presentation, gave his boots to this young Broncos fan. He's got the boots of the Great Britain Centre, so a nice souvenir to walk away from tonight. We're going to show you that miracle try in just a moment, but a quick assessment, boys, just in more of the post-mortem. The forward performance tonight of the Australians, because that is one part of their game they will need to compete next week with New Zealand.
And we will improve because Willie Mason will be back. And he is the player who can give us explosive football and provide a little bit different. You know, Kite, Sivanasiva, Hindmarsh, Ryan O'Donnell, O'Mealy, they're all good tradesmen, and they gave tradesmen-like performances, but nothing really explosive from them that Willie Mason can give. Now, we blew New Zealand away in game 1. Mason didn't play in game 2, and I thought we struggled, and we struggled again tonight without him. He could be the X factor for Australia that lifts us to the level to a Tri-Nations victory.
Mason is so important to this Australian team at the moment. If you have a look through the forward pack out there tonight, apart from maybe an O'Donnell bust down the left-hand side and Kite every now and then, I don't think an Australian forward made an actual bust. But what Willie Mason can do, he can get through that front line and also damage the line enough to make sure that what comes after him is going to be dangerous as well.
Does it open the door for like a Sam Thaiday to be there on the bench, off the bench in the final?
Yeah, I do. I think Sam Thyday's got to come back. Thaiday and Mason, to me, are the explosive back rowers that we need. I think Kafusi's had his run in the Australian jersey. That's good education for him. Leave him for another time. Bring Thaiday back. Bring Kafusi back. Bring Mason back, and we'll beat New Zealand.
All right, Gus, you've always wanted to be a caller. How about you recall this this final try?
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
Wellens and Senior.
Yeah.
Gareth Rayner has done this sort of running all night. Beautiful stuff. Puts the arm out, puts the kick in, cops a deflection. You pick it up from here, Sterlo. Gus is no good. Hindmarsh.
Well, Nathan Hindmarsh found Cameron Smith and Darren Lockyer. This is the final minute. In fact, we've gone past the 80. Great work there from Carmichael Hunt to see that Brent Tate was the only Australian jersey within cooing.
Now get up, Sterlo. Get excited, Tate.
And a great effort from everybody involved, even the number 12 for Australia there. Oh, wonderful to get across here and cover, but what a finish.
And
what was an exciting test match.
They were all Queenslanders. How many times have Queensland, in the last minute, produced the grandstand finish? It's no fluke. They do it all the time.
But you boys just had an opportunity there.
To what?
You know, to do it.
We got a little 6x6 screen. We got a little 6x6 screen here that you can't see there in the distance.
What you've got to like about that try, and Carmichael Hunt highlighted, when Nathan Hindmarsh got the football, the game's won. He said, I just thought he'd die with the football. But he didn't. It's Nathan Hindmarsh to keep going, pop the pass up, and that led to something. Could have been so easy for Nathan Hindmarsh to take the tackle. Game's over and away.
Come on, big man. Put it on again.
Well,
I want to see you call it. Oh, you already got it.
Here's an idea for a footy show segment next year. Send in your call of this try.
There you go.
Footy show next year.
Give us your best.
It's Saturday night. Here's Rayner going centre field, 20 metres out. He'll put a kick in, might even get a deflection. Yes, it did. Now Hindmarsh is with the ball. Hindmarsh gets over the 30, unloads away to Smith. Now for Lockyer. He's got Hunt inside. He's over the halfway. Kicks across field. Here comes Superman. It's Brent Tate. Tate with the ball. Ellis is chasing. And Brent Tate scores. Now, you send through your call of that try for the footy show number 1 next year. Brilliant. And we'll take it.
Only one's got you. Rabbits might have you by a touch, but he couldn't have done that much better.
Rabbits is in his lounge room calling it now.
But you've got to applaud both sides there. Great Britain, the game was lost, but they were still trying to come up with something at the death. And the Australians, who were so good, and Gus, you made the point earlier about the Australians, really their performance now is the first part of the game and the last part of the game. Ricky Stewart needs to address the middle part of the game.
That's what happened. We're a little bit like the Australian cricket team. You know, we attack in the first 15 overs and get a good score up. Then we coast through the middle overs just to run a ball, and then we want the big finish when Andy Simons and the boys come in and rip into them. And I think that if you're playing against Australia, if you can just control that explosive start and be prepared to go the distance, that's when you can pull their pants down and beat them. Just looking at this Australian side, to me, they came out of the blocks super fast tonight and then really struggled in the middle part of the game, and then Lockyer steered them home at the back end. And that's what New Zealand got to come to terms with, the timing of the game. In game 1, when they blew New Zealand off the park, they did it with the early kicking, getting out to the 40 and kicking early, turning New Zealand around, got the steam out of them early, ran to a nice lead, and then protected their points.
I think that's one thing if you have a look at New Zealand when they've been successful. They have been fairly successful in the last decade. They do have a pretty good habit of scoring the first try against Australia.
Yeah,
we've seen it very often, and I suppose that makes it that first 10 or 15 minutes even more important if in fact it is the opposition who can get away and post first points.
Well, if I'm a Kiwi, the form tonight of Jonathan Thurston worries the heck out of me, but my inclination right at the moment is to tip the Kiwis to win next week. I just think it's going to be a sensational final. They are the defending Tri-Nations champions. They get a chance next week to say this was no fluke last year.
Where do you come from?
They do it again.
Where do you come from?
I'm just saying to tip. The inclination is my heart, and I'll be cheering for the Kangaroos.
How do you tip against your country? How do you tip against your country?
We've still got a controversy to come this week. I don't know what it's going to be, but if form follows itself.
My great-grandmother was born in New Zealand. We'll take a break on Nine's Wide World of Sports. We'll come back, wrap up, and we'll also preview all of the cricket, give you all the times for all the big cricket coming up on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
I thought Voss was Swedish.
A copycat killer.
What are you looking at?
Exposes the trail to a dark teenage murder.
She was just a little kid.
Cold Case. Monday on NBN.
There is more to this story than just a dead cockroach.
What about the germs they carry? Only Baygon Germ Kill has the power to kill cockroaches and the antibacterial power to kill the germs they carry. Now that's the whole story. New Baygon Germ Kill kills insects and the germs they carry. Also available in fly spray. The power is yours.
Getting you into the right gear, Auto One.
The Auto One Performance Catalogue is out now with great savings. Auto Gauge 5-inch Shiplight Taco, $269. North Throwover seat covers with bonus badge, $49.95 a pair. Top Gun Pro Racing Series 10mm ignition leads, 15% off. Sports Performance and lowered springs from $129 a pair, and stainless steel mufflers from $79.95.
Getting you into the right gear, Auto One.
Auto One, Newcastle, Cessnock and Muswellbrook.
Merriweather, famous for its beaches, famous for its golf course. Now is the perfect time for you to enjoy a round of golf in a unique environment. Merriweather Golf Club welcomes new players to come and try the improved fairways and superb greens. Ask our friendly staff just how easy it is. Call in to the Pro Shop or phone 49631128. Merriweather, letting nature take its course.
We made it to the finals.
He had the perfect life until his world was turned upside down. Where were you that night, Patrick? Now he must decide.
Who's he with now?
Between his family.
I will make this right.
And their freedom.
Are you ready to die? I may never see my children again, but when they speak of their father, they will say, you stood up for what was right. What will your children say about you?
Catch a Fire.
Special event screenings this weekend.
Welcome to the brand new Hunter Homeland. 7 leading new home builders, 12 stunning new home designs, ideal for our Hunter lifestyle. You'll find the very latest new home concepts, inside and out. Fabulous 1- and 2-story designs and up-to-the-minute expert advice to help you find your perfect home. Visit the brand new Hunter Homeland now on Minmay Road, Fletcher, opposite Bishop Tyrrell College, and build better in the Hunter.
Some boat dealers try to sell you the dream. Other boat dealers sell you the price. But at Jim Nicol Honda Marine Blacksmiths, they just want to sell you a quality boat that is right for you at a price that is hard to beat. They believe that the purchase of your boat is just the beginning of a relationship with you throughout your boating life. Distributing quality brands like Evinrude E-Tech, Tabs, Crownline, Honda and more means you get a full range and style to choose from. Drop in and have a chat with one of the Nichols boys today. They're all style without the glitz. Jim Nicol Honda Marine, Pacific Highway Blacksmiths.
Tuesday.
Basically, you can have any woman you want.
Great, innit?
An all-new countdown of the sexiest people. 20 to 1, Tuesday, 7:30. A massive lineup of special guests and live performances.
How's that for a show?
Ashes to Ashes premieres Tuesday on NBN.
And good stuff from Keith Senior here at Suncorp Stadium. He's come back from the dressing rooms now to sign those boots for the young Broncos supporter. So a nice finish there to the night. But Great Britain, they will go home. Their flight out, they will now have to leave on Tuesday, fly home, knowing that for the second straight year they have failed to qualify for the final. They did make the final a couple of years ago, got tailed up by 40 points by the Kangaroos, and this year again have failed to make the decider. This was the score breakdown at the end of 80 minutes, in fact 81 minutes tonight, given the last tie to Brent Tate. But Hunt, Tate, Gasnier, Hodges, Lockyer, Tupou all getting tries. Thurston landed 4 goals. Lockyer a field goal that took us out to 23 to 10. And the Great Britain try scorers Senior, a pretty remarkable try in the first half to Danny Maguire. Wellens was successful with his attempt, not so Danny Maguire. All right, boys, final thoughts. I've already said I've got an inclination to probably tip the Kiwis. It's going to be a very interesting next 7 days. We want lots of tickets sold this week. Pressure on Sydney fans to get out there and support it. Full house at Aussie next week would be great.
There would be nothing better to end this Tri-Nations final, to have an international in Australia, full house there at Aussie Stadium. Come on, boys, get out and support the Aussies. They will win. They will beat the Kiwis. Mason will be back. Ty Day will play. Will be too strong.
So greatest thing I can say about next week, it is an even money bet. And if you love your international rugby league to be competitive and close, that's what we've got going in with Australia against New Zealand, who've been very good against the Kangaroos, not just this Tri-Nations, but in the last couple of seasons.
Hang on.
I'm getting all my money out of my pocket.
This is even. He wants even money.
I'm getting all my money out of my pocket.
Oh, look, and there's
not much there.
There's a wad of 5s. All right, now it's a massive week on Nine's Wide World of Sports. All the cricketers coming up, and Tuesday night we're going to whet your appetite well and truly with our Ashes to Ashes show. Now, there are still tickets available through Qtix It is on at the Concert Hall here in Brisbane. It is on for people coming along to it at 6:30. It'll be on your screens at 9:30 Tuesday night. 136246 the number for tickets, and big musical acts as well. People like Evermore and David Campbell. Sherbet, what song would they do? How's that problem?
Oh, how's that? At a cricket turnout, you'd suppose they would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's probably right. I'll give you even money about that. Now, the Ashes will start on Thursday morning at 10:30. Our coverage starts Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Standard Time, but it is day one of the Ashes Test. Take the day off work. You've got Phil Gould's permission to do that. Australia versus England, day one of the test at the Gabba in Brisbane.
Take the summer off, baby. Go to them all.
The Tri-Nations final, we've got it for you live. This is the only place where you'll see it live. Nine's Widewater Sports. Note those times, 7:30 New South Wales, live to Victoria next week, and 6:30 for all our Queensland viewers. The Tri-Nations final, Australia versus New Zealand. And the big sport keeps on coming because, as we've been telling you, we've got the National Swimming Championships, which double as the Trials for the Worlds, featuring Thorpe and Hackett and Jones and Lenton and Henry. They're all back, and that begins on December 3. So it's a great time to be watching all the big-time sport on Nine's Widewater Sports. Gus, thanks for your company tonight.
Hey, mate.
Sterlo, thank you. It's been great bringing you the action tonight. It'll be the same next week. We've got a date in the Rugby League for next Saturday night. Tonight, Australia too good for Great Britain, 33-10. It's the Kangaroos versus the Kiwis. We'll do that all next Saturday night.
Has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports.
This program brought to you by the Toolies and Makita Holden Crewman Giveaway.
What is best for baby? Breastfeeding or bottle feeding?
Plus the truth about carbs.
Does pasta make you put on weight?
And the medical breakthrough with maggots.
They can be more friend than foe.
What's good for you? Monday, 7:30. Then it was the year we welcomed ABBA to Australia. Said goodbye to the King, Elvis Presley. And hello to World Series cricket. But what year was it?
It was 1977.
What a year follows What's Good For You, Monday on NBN.